Monday edition. The positives and negatives, a lot different than the last time, although we still got some negatives to address from the Packers' 30-7 win over the Baltimore Ravens backups edition. They played with their backups too, though. Am I just being a helicopter beat writer and worrying too much about two positions? One that is theoretically not going to be a factor at all, potentially, and the other that maybe isn't as bad as I think, or is it as bad as I think edition. And need a little help with the next play mentality edition. Need to explain that later. I'm Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And so is the Packers Hall of Famer. It is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jason. Doing really well this morning, thanks. Got a tricky conundrum that I'm in. Uh-oh. I don't wear a ton of undershirts, but
okay.
I have some things to do over on campus today.
On campus?
It's hot.
It is.
And
very hot.
So
moisture wicking.
I normally what I do is I just wear dark clothes for a couple of reasons. Thinning. And you can't really see sweat. If you're wearing black, you're not going to see sweat unless it's super bad.
Sure.
Well, Saturday we have the big Corn Fest that Weston puts on. It was a great time, but it was hot. And they give you these shirts, and they're light fabric, very comfortable, very cooling, but
they're white.
No,
yellow.
I wouldn't have done. They were like a light green.
Okay.
Kind of what you're wearing right now.
Okay.
And I know, oh boy, I'm like, I'm emceeing this corn eating contest. Big upset, by the way. Ryan Rundy gets knocked off. Three-time champion.
By Eleanor Tauscher?
No, Eleanor there's a kid, Cam, just came in here, and he is just wiping the floor with these 10-year-olds. So, like, there's nobody beating this kid. He is
Cam Bayashi.
He is a corn-eating fool.
No, nothing?
I liked it.
Cam Biashi? I don't understand.
Like
Cam Bayashi.
Kobayashi, the competitive eater.
Never mind. Sorry, I just tried to contribute. Never
it
mind.
was actually funny.
All right, let's redo it. So Cam won this thing.
Too late. No.
Cam Biashi.
Joey
job,
Cam.
Jason.
Joey Corn Nuts?
There you go. Not bad.
Corn nuts would be an easy one to. You could eat a lot of corn nuts.
Yeah, that could really create some issues, I'm guessing.
Why?
Anyway.
Why would that create issues?
I think you eat that massive amount of.
Whoa, Nelly!
Could probably
it's not corn,
wreak
it's
havoc
corn nuts.
with your. I understand, but still, I think it could create some,
some what?
digestive issues.
Corn nuts, like the
if you ate them in massive amounts.
Oh, I don't know. See this?
I'm not a doctor. Anyway, Cam.
Well, anyways, so I'm wearing a black shirt. I'm heading over there to do that part of it, and then we're just going to hang out and have Coors Lights. It'd be a great night, right?
And corn.
And it'd be a big steam engine. It's great. Sarah's like, you got to wear the shirt. I said, terrible idea. Like, this thing is going to be sweated through within 3 seconds. Well, you should wear the shirt. Okay. 5 minutes in, that shirt is dark green.
Okay.
So it's over. But have you heard of, so there are a little bit of bug issues. They need to get Mosquito Joe over there, right? You got to get Mosquito Joe to jump in and spray that down. But there's gnats, some gnats.
Yeah, they're pesky.
It's a pesky deal. And you see that a lot on boats. A lot of gnats will come hit you in your car.
Go on boats.
Dryer sheets. Have you heard of this where you put dryer sheets around you and it gets rid of bugs?
Put around you like how?
So like I put
like
a dryer sheet in my hat, and then I put a dryer sheet on my arms, and I put another dryer sheet on my other arms.
Wait,
and
you rubbed it
no,
against
you set
your
it in
arms?
there. You wear it.
and you have to work up a good sweat so it sticks to your arm?
That
You're
wasn't an
walking
issue.
around Corn Fest with a dryer sheet
No, I was
slapped on
sitting
your
in
arm?
the shade with corn. And it wasn't just me. A bunch of us.
Is there a photo?
Somebody brought. Yes, there is. It's not. I don't have it on my phone, or I'd send it to you. I had it up here, and my buddy OG had it like Dumbo. He put it around his ears.
Sure.
He put a little hole in it, and he was walking around like Dumbo. And people are looking at us like we're crazy, but it's like, no, this works. So you guys have never heard of dryer sheets to get rid of gnats?
I have not. I have gnats. I'm
Didn't
very
you say there were
fascinated,
still
though.
bug issues? Like, are you sure this
No,
worked?
this worked. There were bug issues till Aid brought over a bunch of
An
dryer
entire
sheets.
container of Bounce.
No, like legit. I was like, where the heck? Somebody had texted her to bring these dryer sheets, and sure enough, she brought a big box of dryer sheets, and everybody's walking around plastered with dryer sheets, and it definitely helped. It was the little hack that I didn't know about in life. So next time you guys get a little natty, grab yourself some dryer sheets.
Today's segment brought to you by Coors Light and Bounce Dryer Sheets. If you're getting a little natty, we're here for you. All right, so it doesn't matter that you look ridiculous. All that matters is the gnats stop bothering you.
I mean, do you care? You look ridiculous if you're getting eaten alive?
I don't. I guess my question is, like, there's these candles that you can light, like these citronella candles. Can you put the dryer sheets around
You want us
the
lighting
area?
dryer sheets and like torches and walking around with like a dryer
tiki,
sheet torch.
Yeah, like tiki torches, but with dryer sheets.
I don't know if that's a great
I don't know
idea.
what the solution is. I'm just asking if it's necessary to wear them to get it to work, or if you just surrounded the picnic area with dryer sheets. Would that
so you're
be
saying like
effective?
one of those old, those you'd walk through and it would go when you walk through a door, and they're like
like the
drapes down.
beads
yeah,
hanging
like the
down?
beads.
Yeah,
but you do it with
but this would
dryer
be-
sheets.
This is what I'm.
It's an idea.
I've never heard of this, so
It's an
I'm just
idea.
trying to be contributing.
It's an idea. I don't know if that's something that Weston and Danny and April want to think about adding to next year's repertoire. I doubt that that's what they want to do, but maybe. We'll
It
let 'em
does
know.
not. Does this event have a history of bug issues, or could?
No, I don't even know if everybody else had bug. I think part of it was because I was completely drenched in my green shirt. That probably didn't
so
help
you're in
either.
a soaking wet shirt that I'm guessing, because it's soaking wet, might be hugging a curve or two. You're walking around with dryer sheets.
What the hell's
on
wrong
you.
with you?
I'm just saying, when I get sweaty, and I'm not the fittest guy on the show, that I don't want my clothes sticking to
Yeah,
me.
Sean on YouTube is right. Put it under your hat. Boom. Bugs away from your face.
From your face.
Yeah,
What
I'm
about,
not
like, elsewhere?
I don't think gnats bite you. Like if they're crawling around your legs, I'm not super worried. Maybe they do.
Yeah, I think they bite you.
Okay. Well, then I should have like traipsed it on my legs too, but I didn't do that. Just around my face.
All right, so who won if Eleanor didn't
Cam.
win and the three-time champ?
Cam won it,
Cam
and
won.
then,
Cam Bayashi.
I think there's a kid, and the Rundy getting beat was highly questionable.
Uh-oh.
The kid is an avid
Controversy?
listener to the show. I know he's listening today.
The winner?
Yeah, Rundy was a 3-time champ. He was going for a 4-peat, and he feels like he got robbed. I don't know. I told Weston that he needs to get camera. He needs to get our friends J and K to come out there, get cameras so that we can
video
steward
review.
it.
How does he think he got robbed? It seems pretty straightforward.
No, it's not straightforward. You have to get all the kernels off,
He got
and then
cobbed.
somebody's got to see it. And he felt like he was robbed. Whether or not he was, I don't know.
And you weren't a judge? You were
I was
the
judging,
MC?
but I was on the other side. There's 5 judges, and you put it up.
Passing
I was
the buck.
judging.
Doesn't sound very Truman of you.
Well, I wasn't down there. What do you want me to like?
Wait,
like
don't all
traipse in?
judges?
Well, I couldn't see it. It was all the way over there.
I wasn't in position to make the call.
It was the other judge's call.
No, it's the truth. You
Don't
think
all the judges
of
look?
anybody on this
Do
panel?
a replay review.
I am Johnny. I am Johnny on the
Johnny
spot
Judge.
when it comes to Truman.
You're Aaron Judge.
I wish I was Aaron Judge. 52 home runs. What a stud.
So wait. So how many judges are there?
There's
and
4
they don't
judges.
and you each get
Well,
one.
you see
only
somebody, and
4?
a lot of times the kids will throw their arms up, and then you look and say, "No, there's still like 3 rows of corn. You got to get that thing cobbed out.
Cobbed out. Sure.
Got to be done."
Randall Cobb.
Eleanor missed her window. I think I probably, as her dad, didn't give her the benefit of the doubt when she was 8. She should have won that year. And then this kid Cam comes in and is just lighting the world on fire. He ain't gonna get beat. This kid he's a champion corn eater. Champion. I don't think he's getting knocked off anytime soon.
Well, congratulations to Cam. Is he a younger fella?
He's a young fella, yes. He's like 8. He's going to be in the 10U division for a while.
10U division.
You're not getting knocked off anytime soon.
Jeez. There's divisions? How many people are competing?
Is there a chance
There's a
Cam
10U,
gets...
a 16U, and then an open division where if you want to be a little pipsqueak or an old man, you can go do it.
Like, could you appeal to an independent arbiter that Cam should get bumped up to the next level if he's surpassing?
It's a fair question.
much?
It's a really fair question. I think there's age limits for this for a reason, and it's up to somebody else to work hard to come and knock him off next year. Eleanor will suppress, and now Eleanor's window is closed. Eleanor's Pella window is done. She will not be a corn-eating champion, I don't think, anytime soon.
Never lived out my dream of becoming a banker or a corn-eating champion over here. All right, so this sounds like a fun and very helpful charitable event, which does a lot of good work, which is awesome. You gave it as our Feel Good Friday, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints on Friday, and then you called into question the officiating, of which you were a piece of, which is a little unexpected.
Well, I'm just telling you what Ryan, who is the defending 3-time champion, that's what he said. I, again, was not over on that side of the table. A lot of kids in this thing, man. This isn't a one-man band. Okay?
I got you. I don't. How if you have a judges panel, I don't understand how the entire panel.
I don't understand
then
how
doesn't
you don't understand this. You have to have someone monitoring. So when somebody raises their hand and says they're done, you have to go
right.
Look. Oh yeah, okay, he's got it. It's over.
Right. What I'm saying is,
do you understand how judging corn eating contests happen?
I don't. I know how judging. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So, because if you have 5 judges for gymnastics or for ice skating, right, figure skating, they don't just watch
isn't subjective,
a designated. Okay, I'm just asking why all judges don't examine all cobs.
It's a little.
It's a
subjective.
timing deal. Somebody's done. You have to make a split decision. No, you're not. You got more corn. That's why. Come on.
And so you're passing the blame to one of your fellow judges, saying that
I'm
there's
not
some
passing
question.
any blame. I'm telling you what Ryan told me. I'm not. Listen, I am over to the right.
A lot of people are saying
he's over on the left, and then there's a middle section. There's judges watching, and when the arm goes up, you say yes, you got it, and if nobody else is there, they win. This isn't, hey, great triple sow cow, but you twisted your ankle a little bit, you get deductions. There ain't no deductions. It's a zero-sum game. Somebody's cob is corned off and somebody's isn't, and when it is, it's over. That's how corn-eating contests work.
Except you're suggesting that we need instant replay,
yes.
Which would indicate...
I think there needs to be cameras. Yes, I do.
That maybe the system isn't quite as foolproof.
Get one challenge for every 5 cobs.
There's always ways to improve. That's what we always were looking at.
Get Pereira in there next year.
I'm going to get Blandino to come.
You can get Blandino as like
I'll
a
see if we can get
celebrity
Blandino
judge.
to join. That'll be my contribution to next year's Corn Fest.
Maybe you could time it up with Jeff and Monroe and Scott, don't call me Craig Thompson's children getting married, and then you can
maybe
have
we
him
can help
do
fray some
the
of those
events.
costs and see if we can't get Weston to donate some corn for the wedding.
Right,
Yeah, we
and
got all kinds of
Blandino
ideas.
can officiate, and then he can go straight to Corn Fest. It's a whole thing.
That could be something.
All right, we need to get to the Packers' kicking situation and their backup quarterback situation and our positives and negatives from the Packers' final preseason game. We are under 2 weeks away now from their game in Brazil against the Philadelphia Eagles. But before that, as you heard Tausch mention, poor Eleanor Tauscher's corn-eating contest championship window.
Yeah, it's over.
Has closed.
It has, but yours hasn't. How do you say welcome to your guests? Well, dryer sheets, corn-eating contest. Say it with a new entry door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Say it with color, yellow on the cobs of corn. Somebody had a little too much left on there, and that's why they didn't win. The possibilities are endless thanks to Pella's custom colors. Say it with class. Pella's premium doors stand out due to their distinguished craftsmanship. Say it with a great deal. 0 interest for 5 years. That's 60 months, no money down and equal payments. But hurry up. Oh, I don't know where August went. I'm getting old when I keep doing this every month. I can't believe this month is almost over. But it is. You got 5 days left. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Controversial ending at Corn Fest. Controversial usage of dryer sheets.
There's no controversy with the dryer sheets, by the way. There were people looking like, what the hell are you guys doing? But none of us cared because we didn't have gnats floating around our face.
Okay.
And by the way, I am not a documentary guy. You guys know that. Greg Maddox doc, some of the best. If you love sports and the psychology of sports, I don't know if you're going to find a better doc. I honestly don't know. And you know I don't just throw effusive praise out easily.
No, you don't.
It's the best thing the Major League Baseball Network has ever put out.
Wow.
Tell me I'm wrong.
They did a euchre feature that was pretty good.
I don't know. That was a feature. Was that a doc?
And
was that an hour and a half doc?
It's out already?
Was that an hour and a half doc?
It's an hour special, I believe
Ooh,
they did. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll have to check that.
That's available right now?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a Greg Maddox guy?
Yes, I always liked him. I think he's a real quirky, weird duck, and I love weird, quirky ducks, like I do. And he is all of that, but it is, if you have a kid that is a pitcher that has any aspirations of pitching, watch that documentary.
On the flip side, don't waste your time with the Pete Rose documentary. I would like those 4 episodes back. That was.
Oh, you invested 4 episodes?
Well, again, it was while I was writing. I said, you know what? I'm going to put on something that it's not a Law and Order episode, and I had a bunch of writing to do, but he's not a likable character at all, actually. But they try to make him kind of a victim, and trust me, you will thank me.
Deal. I won't.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
What I do want you to do, instead of watching the Greg Maddox documentary right now or the Pete Rose documentary, is stay tuned for our conversation about the Packers preseason finale.
Oh, yeah.
Bring together your positives and your negatives as we get ready for the...
Everybody else is happy that the preseason's done. Thank God.
Tausch can give that opinion as well.
15 storylines into 2. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Trust me, I've read the State Journal. 3 keys to the scrimmage on Saturday. How long did it take you to come up with those?
Whoa, Nelly!
I'm so glad I'm leaving early. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Pizza Hut is changing the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Mark Tauscher here and starting at just $6.99. Pizza Hut is now offering the ultimate solo meal. You can have your choice of a personal pan pizza or melts with a side of boneless wings or fries. You get to pick whatever entree inside you want. And you can add a 20-ounce Pepsi for just $1.50 more. The My Hut Box is perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner on your own, or any time you're on the go. Order your own My Hut Box today, only from Pizza Hut.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Every Tuesday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Don't miss the ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll Rankings Reveal Show. We unveil the top 10 teams in the large division and small division all around the state. That's every Tuesday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll Rankings Reveal Show.
Ready for a golf adventure? Discover Prairie Pines Golf Club, just outside of Madison in Sun Prairie. This is Sarah Tauscher. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, the stunning 18-hole course at Prairie Pines offers the perfect challenge for every skill level. Go experience their newly renovated front nine. It's better than ever. Grab your clubs, bring your friends, and tee off in style. Book your tee time now at prairiepinesgolfclub.com. That's prairiepinesgolfclub.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Rick was at risk for a stroke, but now he's taking steps to reduce that risk. He checks his high blood pressure routinely to keep it under control. He exercises 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week to get his heart pumping. He also calls the Wisconsin Tobacco Quit line to help him manage his nicotine cravings. Did you know 80% of all strokes are preventable? Be like Rick and reduce your risk of stroke. Good job, Rick. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Coverdale Stroke Program.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
So I think we've put a bow on Corn Fest. And now we can move on to critiquing the Packers coverage in the Wisconsin State Journal. Packers beat the Ravens.
Nevermore.
No, they'll play them again someday.
Maybe in February. In Nolens.
On Jair Alexander's birthday, Ja versus Lamar. Or maybe not.
I think Green Bay take that right now, eh? But
yeah.
Baltimore would take that right now, eh?
Yeah, we're just going to skip right to Super Bowl 59 on February 9th. That's not how it works, though. The Packers will open their season on Friday, the 6th of September.
Got to climb that mountain again.
And started off with a 10-hour flight to Sao Paulo. Tausch, we'll get to positives and negatives, but first, being the avid reader of your Wisconsin State Journal, what are they going to do at quarterback behind Jordan Love, and what are they going to do at kicker?
Yeah, it was really interesting because I did watch the game, and it was a little more entertaining than I actually anticipated. Some good things. Obviously, you saw it, with Johnson Jr., number 3-6, made a couple of big plays, and I thought defensively you saw some of what you were hoping for. A lot of really good, violent hits, getting turnovers. And again, you could say, well, it's backups and all that. Yeah, but mentalities carry over. So I love that part of it. It's really difficult because the kicking game, we all had questions coming in, and I don't think we feel any better about it after what we saw. And it's crazy that one thing can completely spiral you, but all on Twitter, he makes 54, 55-yarder early in the game.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, all right, that wraps it up.
Myself included, by the way,
but
sitting there.
And again, that's how this works, but that's not I don't think Goody is looking, you made one kick. There still were question marks, and if he makes the 33-yarder, do we feel all of a sudden star-spangled awesome that, yes, he's our kicker?
Well, if I may.
Go ahead.
He was 22 of his last 25 in the practices. So he'd had that kind of rough patch, and then they both had that day where the wind was ridiculous.
Yeah, tornado, like I heard.
That's what I heard, yeah. And so he was 22 of 25 coming out of practice and into that game. Didn't get a field goal or an extra point attempt because they only scored 2 points in Denver. And then
some would say perfect day.
Some would say. But he kicked a touchback on the kickoff, so I don't think it was. But then he goes in, hits the 54-yarder. Joseph hits a 55-yarder later. My issue with the 32-yard miss is not in and of itself. It's the reminder of, in a game, how inconsistent he tends to be within the game. Remember, including playoffs, 10 of the Packers' final 12 games last season, he missed at least one kick, whether it was a field goal attempt or an extra point. No one missed more kicks than he did last season in the NFL. And so it's not, in my opinion anyway, and I don't know how Goody views it, but in my opinion, having a guy that you are kind of just waiting during the game for, all right, which one is he going to miss? That you don't want that. I mean, LaFleur making that comment, which he did not intend to make air, but Tom Rinaldi sharing it with the world that he prays every time Anders Carlson goes out there. Like,
is he a religious guy?
I don't. Not as religious as Mike McCarthy or Mike Sherman. I don't know his religious leaning. My point is that it's not that kick alone. It's what it represents during the course of a game where he was good for before, right? He made the other field goal. He made his other extra point. Greg Joseph made his field goal. He made 2 extra points.
Mm-hmm.
And then it reminds you that you just never know with this guy when his miss is going to come in the game.
Yeah, but I don't know if that changes. Obviously, there's a like you said it, that's kind of like an alarm clock going off, like, oh, remember. But
he hasn't missed yet.
Yeah, it's I just, again, I think unfortunately for Anders, I think the process of how last season went and how it sped up expectations, it left him in a position where he needed to grow maybe faster than what he was ready to.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a championship caliber football team, which I don't know, obviously everybody's saying all the right things now, but last year they didn't feel that way. And they thought, we're going to let all these young guys grow, wideouts, tight ends, etc. And then the kicking game, it's not a big deal, if you miss a 47-yarder, and when we end up going 6-11 rather than 7-10. Well, then you all of a sudden go beat Dallas, and you're humming along, and you have a kicker that you don't trust. They didn't trust him all offseason. That's why you had 3 kickers on the roster for a vast majority of training camp. That's why you change your whatever the foreign player eligibility, whatever that thing is called.
International Pathway.
There you go.
Player program.
The FPPP, you know me. There is, unless there's somebody, because in the grand scheme of things, I think Greg Joseph, he's a veteran. He's not that much better than Anders Carlson. I don't think you trust him more than you do Anders.
I don't think so either.
So then, is there somebody out there? Is there somebody that was kicking under a Justin Tucker or someone like that had a really good camp, that a team is not going to keep, that you feel good about bringing in? Because once you do this, then do you try to leave Anders on the practice squad? Because here's the deal, and I think this is the part that we always overlook. Everybody thinks, well, you have to have a kicker. You do, but you're going to be scrambling here to keep it at 53. There's talk of just keeping one quarterback, which I don't think will happen. But the question always is, when you're making these decisions, if you put Anders Carlson out on the waiver wire, is somebody grabbing him to be their starting kicker tomorrow? The answer is no. So do you roll the dice? Do you do that? And you do that if you feel like there's somebody else that is easily gettable to bring in, and that could be Greg Joseph. So we've seen this movie before. We've seen it done with backup quarterbacks, and it's never a position that the Green Bay Packers want to be in. But Anders Carlson right now, I would have thought, too, after he made that kick, that he was in a pretty good standing because I think he had finished the camp strong. But he did give you that reminder, and when you do that and you hear the comments after the game, it makes you think that they're going in a different direction.
So, all right. So I want to get to quarterbacks too, and I want to get to the positives and negatives here. So those are all coming up. But to just continue this discussion a little bit on the kicker thing, there is obviously a lesson with his brother who hit a rough patch.
Daniel Carlson. Yeah,
was he a pirate?
Yep.
No, it's like a Norwegian. Daniel.
I know. It sounded like the Count from Sesame Street. One kicker miss.
He's not wrong in saying it sounds like you're pirate. Got to be honest.
No, that's more Irish.
Oh, that's
not
just because
Norwegian.
Jesse's afraid of me. Yeah.
Not Norwegian.
So my question is, I don't know if anyone would pick him up. I also don't know if you cut Anders Carlson, does he say, hey, if I'm going to go on a practice squad, I'm going to look around the league and see who else has a susceptible kicker, and I'm going to get a fresh start like my brother did in Las Vegas, and it worked out great. I don't know what.
Mein Bruder. Maybe he'll go back up his Bruder.
Sehr gut, yeah. But my point is that there is no guarantee that whoever else's cast off you bring in is going to be any better. And that's the challenge that they have to weigh here, isn't it? Like, all right, the trade
Jason,
that...
Yeah, the thing I said on Wisconsin's Morning News with Vinny and Eric this morning was, this is where do you look at the long-term or is... And kicker's so interesting to me because you can see growth at tight end and at wideout. And, maybe the route running isn't as good, but you see that talent. You see the kid's got a big leg. And he's been okay. He hasn't been great. Do you want to do what the Minnesota Vikings did with Daniel Carlson?
Right.
And not let him grow into his potential?
Correct.
And it's a really tough call because the days of let's grow together, they're going to keep growing, but they ain't growing to be some average football team. This is a team that believes they can win a championship. Correct. And you can't, in good faith, if you're Goody, look at it and say, I trust Anders to make this kick when the money's on the table. Because it doesn't matter how good a football team you have, you're going to have a bunch of tight games.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that? Do you sacrifice maybe a short-term couple losses for a long-term kicker that you feel great about? Because right now, the Las Vegas Raiders are certainly happy Minnesota said, deuces B, because old boy's a Pro Bowl kicker for them.
Right.
And I don't know what the answer is for Goody here. It is really difficult because you don't want to give games away because you don't trust your kicker, but you drafted him and you think he's pretty doggone good, or you don't draft him, and he's been okay. It's not like he's a hot mess disaster, but he's inconsistent, and that is a position you just can't be inconsistent in.
And we're in a league now where 80%, which used to be the standard when Mason and your fellow Packers Hall of Famer classmate Ryan Longwell were kicking, that 80% was what you were shooting for. And now half the league's kickers last year...
Those days are gone.
They are. Mm-hmm. Half the league's kickers last year made 90% of their field goal attempts.
Yeah.
That's the bar now.
Justin Tucker left town, right? We didn't end up trading.
He did not stay. He went back to Baltimore. All right. As we continue, and again, I don't know who is going to be available from these various kicking competitions. Goody has fleeced Joe Douglas once. They've got Greg Zuerlein.
Spinked him. He spinked him.
And Austin Siebert. Both on their roster currently. Maybe I assume they're going to keep Zuerlein because they think they have a Super Bowl team.
What did they have to have? What did Michael Spinks get paid to sign a picture of Tyson standing over him, knocking him out?
It's a very fair question. I mean,
what's the price tag on pride?
Yeah.
Everybody's. There's a tag. I just don't know what old Spinksy got paid for that.
All right, I do want to talk about the backup quarterback situation next.
So what are they going to, Jason? What are they going to do? You're a prognosticator. Is Anders Carlson, is he on that plane as the kicker for the G&G when you go down to Brazil?
Sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, as the saying goes. So if you're going to force me to prognosticate, yes.
But is he better than Greg Joseph?
No, they basically. But again, Greg Joseph, we like Greg Joseph because he's different than Anders Carlson. Greg Joseph's numbers last year
are not as good.
Were almost exactly the same.
No.
So that's just different is not better. So if you make me choose, I will say he will be on the plane to Brazil. If you're going to give me a hard time when he's not, I can handle that.
I'm not going to give you. I think Jesse still has Sam Ficken coming back. He's got Sam Ficken kicking in Sao Paulo.
I'm going to look up how much Michael Spinks's autographed photo goes for on eBay of him laying on the canvas looking up.
Like, is there anything more like emasculate? Like what? Whatever. And it looks like he put a heart over his eye on Spinks.
I think maybe just getting punched a lot makes it a little bit harder for him to sign things. I don't know. What I do know is you would love for your kicker to be automatic, that you could take it to the bank on every one of his kicks. Well,
like Money Davenport.
That is not always the case when it comes $29.95 for this certified autographed Michael Spinks.
$29 for Spinks to sign that?
I guess I've got your birthday present. I can't wait to have it framed for you.
No.
You want to be able to take it to the bank, and you can't rely on kickers, but you can rely on Associated Bank. They've got all kinds of great perks that come not only with Packers Checking, where you get your Packers Debit MasterCard, you get 10% off the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online, but with all of their different checking packages, Brewers Checking, Badgers Checking, or just regular checking, which allows you to take advantage of early pay and of the best customer service in the industry. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more about all of them. We'll get to the backup quarterbacks, and then we'll get to positives and negatives. It's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. You know what time of the year it is. No, not the start of football season. No, not the push for baseball's postseason. It's the Silverado Sales Spectacular at Zimbrick Chevrolet. And right now you get more truck for your buck with up to 15% off select Silverado models plus 1.9% APR available. Stop by their dealership on Main Street in Sun Prairie and check out all of the Silverado options to choose from. Zimbrick Chevrolet is Dane County's #1 volume dealer. And if you're in the market for an electric vehicle, Zimbrick Chevrolet has EVs. Save $7,500 now with the EV tax credit on the all-new and exciting Equinox and Blazer EVs. With a great selection of new and used vehicle inventory, plus their outstanding service team, you've got to check out Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Start online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com or stop by on Main Street in Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
It's a top 25 showdown at the Modella Vegas Kickoff Classic.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
23rd ranked USC goes head-to-head with 13th ranked LSU. Coverage begins Sunday, September 1st at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, presented by Door County Distillery. Football season is here. Whether you're tailgating, you're partying, or any of the in-betweens, do it right, do it best with Door County Distillery. For me, football season is whiskey season. Whether it's their 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey, their delicious rye whiskey, or my personal favorite, the bourbon, find it near you and elevate your football season with Door County Distillery. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Daniels Construction is a proud employee and family-owned business serving South Central Wisconsin for 71 years. Want to join the team at an award-winning, self-performing contractor that's committed to quality and excellence in every project? They offer multi-trade career opportunities with on-the-job paid training and career growth opportunities. Whether you're looking to start a new project or a new career, Daniels Construction is building better futures, people, and communities. Visit daniels-co.com to learn more.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at wipga.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Positives and negatives coming up. But let's talk backup quarterbacks. Mike White.
That's your guy?
Well, no, he's not
Is that
my guy.
who you want?
Well, here's why he would possibly make sense. Now, again, you're not getting Kurt Warner or John Elway. They're both retired.
You wouldn't know if it was Kurt Warner, though, back in the day when Kurt Warner wasn't Kurt Warner.
That's true. You would not have known that then. But chances are you just want a guy who can get you through some games. And Mike White, who started 7 games for the Jets in 21 and 22 when Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother, was the offensive coordinator in New York, has played. He has experience. He has experience in a similar system. He was cut by the Dolphins yesterday as he lost out on their competition for the number 2 job behind Tua. I'm not saying that he's an improvement. I'm saying he's a possibility. Tausch, I've used this stat before. 2 years ago, 68 different players started games at quarterback. Last year, 66 different quarterbacks started at least one game across the league. So the chances of your guy staying healthy for all 17 games plus playoffs aren't in your favor. Now, Jordan Love was one of 9 quarterbacks last season who started every game. And hopefully that's the case for him for the next decade. He's Favre-like. Chances are it won't be. So if you have to, let's say something happens in Brazil, and he's not ready to go the next week against the Colts, do you believe the Packers can win with Michael Pratt or Sean Clifford at quarterback? And how confident are you in whatever your answer is?
I definitely think they can. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And that's always it's such a fun little conundrum when you have such a young team and you have this growth that you saw. Figuring out, where do you need that veteran? And this team now is a championship contender. Last year, I don't think they felt that way. Last year, it would have made no sense to do what you wanted. You bring in Phillip Rivers or Joe Flacco or someone like that.
Matt Ryan.
This year now, I think you have to look at this and say, if something happens to Jordan Love, this is not going to be a Super Bowl team. Not with Sean Clifford as your backup quarterback. Is there someone out there that you feel like can win you 3 or 4 games if Jordan sprains an ankle or misses 3 or 4 weeks but is back? That's how I look at this now. And is Sean Clifford that guy? I don't know. I saw some things that I didn't love on Saturday from him. And I don't know if you can count on him to be that guy this early in his career. So I didn't want Jordan Love playing in year 1. Sean Clifford's in year 2. I don't think you want to put all your eggs in that basket if that happens. Now, do you bank it and say, well, if something happens to Jordan, we'll go find somebody? I sense that's probably the direction that they're thinking. But I don't think, and again, I only go off of what they do, and then if they're open and honest with their conversations, I didn't sense there was a ton of confidence from Matt LaFleur post-game by the way he commented on both the backup quarterback position and the kicking position. Now, that doesn't mean that there's a better option that they feel better about to make that change, because it is a big change. But Mike White, there are guys I would always prefer to go with the younger players if I feel like they can win me a few games. I don't know if that's how Brian Gutekunst is feeling, if he feels like he can win with Sean Clifford as his guy.
So you made the reference earlier, and it happened to be the year that Rodgers broke his collarbone, but they came out of training camp. You mentioned how they've changed kickers, right? They did it with the punter, right? Corey Bajorquez a few years ago. Derek Frost after John Ryan had made the team again, and then he goes on to have a fantastic career in Seattle and play a factor in the 2014
I think he
NFC
owns like a
Championship
baseball
game.
team now or something, too.
Yeah, his wife's a comedian, I think. Anyway, they should have never done that, right? They made a mistake there. Then it started the revolving door of punters until they got Tim Masthay, who was good for them for, I think, 6 seasons. When I look back on the quarterback thing, they cut all their quarterbacks. Then they went with Seneca Wallace and our buddy Scott Tolzien.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And then they lucked out.
Flinny boy.
And Matt Flynn got cut by the Bills right when they needed him most.
Yep.
And he came in and went 2-2-1 in the 5 games he played, or the Packers went 2-2-1 in the 5 games he played.
Good catch.
Thank you. And they stayed afloat, and then Rodgers threw the touchdown to Cobb, and they made the playoffs in the finale.
Okay.
If it's 5 games, I don't know, Jim.
Yeah, but I mean, can you bring Tannehill in and say, hey, can you do that?
So here are a couple of other names, because here's the thing, and I know you didn't read the State Journal today, but here's the thing.
I was still getting that pregame.
Yeah, I know. 3 things
preview.
3 things to watch. Yeah. 5 position battles. We like to count things. It's not so much about what he said, but it's about what he didn't say about both the kickers and the backup quarterbacks. Because he had a chance to say something along the lines of, hey, there's going to be ups and downs, but we feel good about our options. And instead, he said in both instances, look around the league and see what else is out there. So that tells you.
Not a glowing endorsement.
And Goody is standing next to him on the sideline during the game because he's not calling the offensive plays. So he's got all kinds of time to chit-chat with the GM. So they know what's going on. So Ryan Tannehill is somewhere on his couch. Not on the street, but on his couch. But again, if I'm him, I'm Flaccoing this, right? I'm sitting there waiting until somebody loses their starter, and I could go into a team and say, hey, I've started 151 games in this league. You want somebody to get you some wins, sign me now, and you got to pay me pretty well to do it.
Yeah, but you also have to look at it and say, what are my opportunities going to be? And if you can get a solid backup job in this league after nobody's picked you up throughout all of camp, like if the Packers want Ryan Tannehill, they'll go get Ryan Tannehill. Who else you got?
The other
Mike
guy,
White, Tannehill.
The other guy is a guy that you are very much down on.
Who?
because you believe he quit on his team. But Marcus Mariota is the former number 2 overall pick.
What other Oregon duck are you going to pull out?
No, is he? Joey Harrington. No, he's the only one. He's the only one that played for LaFleur in Tennessee. Both he and Tannehill were coached by LaFleur in Tennessee. So those guys, there is at least some reasonable connection. Marcus Mariota, as of right now, is backing up Jaden Daniels with the Washington Commanders. Taylor Heineke is out there. Get excited
I'm not going to lie to you. Heineke came into Green Bay and did some things.
He did.
I'd take him.
Yes, he did.
All right, I want Heineke.
He wears number 4 because Favre was his favorite player.
He's right now the third quarterback, unless the Falcons intend to make Michael Penix Jr. Unless they plan on giving him the love treatment.
Action. Yeah.
And have him be the third guy.
I don't think that's what they're doing.
Heineke would be about to be either cut or traded in Atlanta. So that's
there's
another
a good
one.
chance Green Bay
Bailey
goes
Zappi.
with one quarterback on their 53. When do they have to announce their 53? What day?
Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Wisconsin time. What, you guys, that timeline surprised you a bit.
I didn't know it was tomorrow.
She's coming. And
there is no tomorrow.
Is there a chance that we're sitting here tomorrow at 4 o'clock that Jordan Love is the only quarterback on the active 53?
Are we doing a digi-only that we'll be sitting here at 4 o'clock?
I can't tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd love to. Okay. Is there a chance?
I suppose. Right?
Well, no, I'm asking you.
Well, because here's the thing. You can cut them both. If they don't get picked up, you can put them both on your practice squad.
P-squad them. Yeah.
So you have options. A lot more flexibility than there once was.
This isn't Taysom Hill. I don't think anybody's picking either of these guys up either.
Well, I wouldn't bet a Coors Light on either one of them getting claimed.
The receiver position. Like, there is a ton. For as much as this roster felt pretty solidified, and it is, I don't think there were a ton of open, there's usually 5 or 6 spots that kind of get jostled. It's very intriguing. Tight end. Injuries, running back. Like, there's a lot there. What linemen are you keeping? How many linemen are you keeping?
Royce Newman.
I think Royce's days are probably, but maybe not.
Whatever happens, some will be drowning their sorrows in a Coors Light. Others will be toasting their Coors Lights after Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Yeah, indeed. A lot of Coors Light this weekend for Old T, and it was brewed with that 3-step cold process because it was hot. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged because it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It is only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll get to what Matt LaFleur had to say after the game and some positives and negatives as we roll on. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're less than a week away from Wisconsin football kicking off, and at least one AP writer is bullish on the Badgers this season. Ralph Russo released his prediction for the inaugural 12-team playoff and has Wisconsin slated as the 10 seed. Just one more reason to get excited about a new season of Badger football. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day this Friday, beginning at 4 p.m. Up until kickoff against Western Michigan, right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Discover a new generation of Audi featuring the all-electric Audi e-tron models. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with national customer credit. Offer expires August 31st of 2024. Stop in and test drive today. The Summer of Audi sales event is here. Check out our website to see our current qualifying inventory. Start your adventure at Zimbrick Audi of Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
My Aunt Bella was telling a story, and her speech was a bit slurred. Her smile was drooping. Was she having a stroke? I knew it was time to run through the B Fast checklist. B, balance. Bella was fine. E, eyes. Her vision was fine. F, face. Oh, the drooping. A, arms. She could lift both arms. S, speech. Oh, definitely slurred. T, terrible headache. She had one. Signs of a stroke. I called 911 and saved Aunt Bella's life.
Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Covered Health Stroke Program.
It's a top 25 showdown at the Modella Vegas Kickoff Classic.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
23rd ranked USC goes head-to-head with 13th ranked LSU. Coverage begins Sunday, September 1st at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC.
I'm not afraid of getting old, and I will escape from dying young. I see the light and go past my shoulder. I will escape from dying young, and I'm not afraid of getting older. I'm one less day from dying young, and I see the light.
So last week, I got Matt LaFleur to say that he wants to vomit every time the number one wide receiver conversation starts, which again was not anything close to what I was actually asking, but I did say the words number one wide receiver. And so that was my first vomit message. Then I got an email from Dennis in Plover. And Jesse, am I understanding his email correctly? Because he sent it to you too. You vomited on Dennis in Plover's brother during the game?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did not vomit.
Well, the
on...
Sports Center let everybody know that you were there.
I was at the game.
I love how Jesse has completely put himself into every Sports Center somehow.
Yeah.
It's kind of catchy.
Well, report the news. Sometimes it's news if I'm at the game.
You don't be the news. Just report the news.
If you are the news, you can't help it. That's the news.
Did you run onto the field streaking naked?
No, I did not.
Then you're not the news there either.
No. That would be
so weird.
Yeah, you're a weird guy.
Yeah, you're having some
when
weird
Ron
comments.
you were on the field.
What
Ron
does that have to
Dane,
do
there was
with
a
Jesse at
streaker
Lambeau?
that ran on the field, and you were on the field for it, and it was definitely news.
He was on the field with the Burger King guy. That was a better one.
Yeah.
Who was on the field with the Burger King?
Tausch was. Weren't you on the field with the Burger King
guy? You mean
in
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was still the weirdest thing.
When he came and took the ball out of... How is he the Burger
It's a 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Game is on the line. We're back there pass protecting. All of a sudden we hear, what the heck is it? They blow I don't know how. Great security there by Cincinnati, but I digress.
Took the ball right out of Favre's hands, but I don't feel like he was he a representative of Burger King?
He was dressed like the guy.
No,
with
he
the...
wasn't.
All right, anyway.
He wasn't dressed as the Burger King.
I thought he was.
He didn't have a crown on. He was in like a white T-shirt.
I thought he was the Burger King guy. Maybe I misremembered
He was
that.
the Hamburglar.
All right, anyway, Dennis emailed Jason and I over the weekend. I don't know why he didn't email Tausch also.
I think Dennis might be with the retired Navy fella. I don't think he's a big fan either.
Ned Peller.
Starting to add to that list. A lot of people not loving Old T, which, again, I'm okay. Just keep listening. I'm fine with that.
Oh, yes.
Dennis said, my brother got puked on in the early part of the first quarter on Saturday.
Jeez.
I mean, like a full shower.
Oh.
That is disgusting.
Well, good thing it wasn't hot.
Oh.
It was hot. Can confirm.
Because you were there. That's what the sports center
Yes,
said.
yes.
Sources.
See, this is why it's valuable to share the news.
Indeed.
Do you think that if he had bought some new clothes, Lambeau's staff would have found him with a shower somewhere?
Wait a minute. If he had bought some new clothes?
Like if Dennis is... And he ended up, the last line of the email, he stayed for the whole game. How freaking awful.
Oh,
wait, so he did... So wait, if he...
Just wait. Did he puke on himself?
No, he said he got puked on.
Nearby fan, vomit.
Like a projectile.
Apparently.
Full shower, says Dennis.
Full shower is a really tough phrase there.
He decided to sit in that
He stayed.
Ah.
Didn't go buy new clothes. Didn't ask.
You got to at least go to the bathroom
Is
and
there not
wash
like an
yourself
attendant
off.
that you go and say, hey,
The Fan Assistance Center?
Yeah.
Located on the main
and
concourse
what happened to
at
the
Section
vomiter?
18?
Did they get thrown out?
These are all details that Dennis did not share.
Well, that's a weird opera. You're not going to just sit and puke for
vomit
4 hours.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No. If he bought clothes, like if I'm the Packers, it's not my fault that some fan puked on another fan, but I am making sure that I take care of that person because I care about my fans.
Which person, the vomiter or the vomitee?
Well, I'm kicking his keister out of the building.
What if? I mean, unless he's hammered, like stuff happens, right? I ended up. I vomited on Becky Kielachetsky's pants.
Yes, somewhat.
I had to leave. I still don't know what happened to her.
Yes, I asked you to try and get her on, and you declined.
That's probably not a good vibe.
I'd love to track her down, but my point is even if the person was just ill, the fact that they didn't find a way to avoid showering Dennis's brother probably should leave regardless.
And the question is, did Dennis's brother go talk to fan assistants
Correct.
to see if...
That's what I would have done. I just got vomited on.
I just got thrown up by one of your patrons of Lambeau, and I don't really want to sit here in crusty up old dried vomit.
You got
that diamond dust that they used to spread around the school.
Go to guest serve. Like if you have somebody there with you, my move would have been hand your friend or your whoever you're there
what
with.
What did the people sitting next to them say?
Right. This is such
Reeks
a fascinating
like maybe
scenario.
it was empty. How full was the stadium?
It was
pretty full.
That's impressive.
To start the game.
It is impressive.
It was
pretty
hot.
empty. Like Don Morton empty by the end of the game.
A lot of people might have left in the mid stages of the third quarter.
I mean, all of us are probably,
Sources close to the situation can confirm.
If you're getting vomited on, you're probably leaving, right?
And apparently not Dennis's brother.
If it's me at a preseason game, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to go to regular season games,
because they're a big deal.
Like, if it's me, I'm leaving that
fall
game.
asleep at
I'm
them.
walking straight out, and I'm going.
Do you say something
whatever.
to the vomitee?
I'm going to
vomiter?
an usher. I'm going to whatever George. I was going to call him Nelson, but that wouldn't be accurate.
Well.
Whatever Jesse's dad. Whatever version of that there is in my section, I'm saying, look, this jackwagon just puked on me. I want to stay for the game. I can't sit here like this. Can you please help me?
You have to think from a Packers standpoint. I find out about Dennis's brother, and I say this guy deserves some accolades. I mean, he's
dedication.
What a fan he is to sit in vomit-filled clothes for 4 hours in 85 to 90 degree heat with the sun baking it into your clothes.
How do you not vomit yourself
to watch
then?
Pratt and
Merriweather?
Yeah.
He's not a
Kudos to
fair-weather
him.
Merriweather fan,
Like,
that's for sure.
That's pretty good. What a fan. He should be nominated for Fan of the Year from the G&G. Tell me somebody else that's shown more dedication than his brother.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
This is the kind of stuff you got to do to make it into the Wilde and Tausch Hall of Fame. These kind of defining moments.
Can you send that to Wallers or somebody and say, this guy deserves at least to be nominated for Fan of the Year? Now, they'll have to clean up the story because I don't think they want Vomit to be the lead.
Yeah.
Well, what else are you going to say
I don't know. This young man went through it.
If he's Dennis's brother, he's not that young.
Well, you don't know.
Dennis is an older fella.
Yeah, but there's different things that happen in life. Don't be judging. You don't know how old Dennis is.
He's not like 20. I feel fairly confident.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. All right. Well,
does anybody else kind of want Dennis to make a jingle about this scenario and we play it?
Do you think when Dennis heard the story, he said, "Ho ho 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 ho"?
I guarantee whoever's sitting next to Dennis's brother wasn't saying that. They're saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Go get the puke off your
All right, enough vomit talk. We'll get to the 10 o'clock hour, during which we will give our positives and our negatives. And we will talk more about where the Packers roster stands, with cuts coming in 29 hours or so. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. 2 minutes. Wilde and Tausch continues.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Pizza Hut is changing the combo game with the new My Hut box. Mark Tauscher here, and starting at just $6.99. Pizza Hut is now offering the ultimate solo meal. You can have your choice of a personal pan pizza or melts with a side of boneless wings or fries. You get to pick whatever entree inside you want. And you can add a 20-ounce Pepsi for just $1.50 more. The My Hut box is perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner on your own, or any time you're on the go. Order your own My Hut box today, only from Pizza Hut.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The preseason is over, and the countdown to the regular season begins. The Green Bay Packers wrap up the preseason with a 30-7 win at Lambeau Field Saturday afternoon over the Baltimore Ravens. 38 players, many of which were starters, did not suit up for Saturday's game. And it was hot, and a lot of fans left in the third quarter, like me when I was attending the game. Plenty to dissect from the preseason finale, though. The kicker situation, the backup quarterback situation, and more still to come on Wilde and Tausch right here on 100.5 ESPN and all day on ESPN Wisconsin, including the Great Dane Huddle tonight from 6 to 7 o'clock. Also, check out ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky's latest from the weekend over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Baseball. The Brewers take 2 of 3 from the Oakland Athletics over the weekend. Sunday was the loss. 4-3, the Oakland A's avoid the sweep at the hands of the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers still well up in the NL Central, just 2.5 back of the best record in the National League. Off tonight, they return home tomorrow.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins with our positives and our negatives. Tausch, there were a lot of positives. It was much harder last time after that Sunday game in Denver. What was your biggest positive?
Yeah.
And then we'll get to negatives.
I really love the way the offensive line ran block. I thought the rushing game was really good.
193 yards.
Yeah, physical and, kind of coming off. You just loved the mentality. And I'd say the same thing about the defense, but my positive because we're talking about a lot of backups and a lot of guys that will probably be on the practice squad for this season, that doesn't mean the mentality and the culture of what you're trying to build, you want to see that with every group. And unlike last week where you're going against starters, you're going against other backups, and you completely kicked their keister. So I love the mentality. I think you have to look at how physical both sides of the football were. It was the Packers were flying around and playing much more physically than the Baltimore Ravens. So that is my positive in a big way from what we gleaned on Saturday afternoon.
So let me ask you if my positive then is affected by that. Because I was going to say, hey, you're in limbo with your running backs, right? Because Marshawn Lloyd, I would predict, will start on the injured reserve.
Yep, I would agree.
Rob, he joined us on Friday, pointed out that they have the new rule where you can go straight to IR and still be able to be designated for return
Which
later.
is a
You can do
smart
it with
move.
two players. Yep. So he, I'm guessing, is going to be one of them. He missed early part of camp with a hip injury, now the hamstring. I would predict that he will be a candidate for that. And then you don't know what's going to happen with A.J. Dillon. Like, first we weren't sure if he was the guy to be the number 2 running back. Then we thought, oh, well, he must be because he's inactive in Denver. Then it turned out he had a stinger, which is an injury that he had last season that forced him to miss 3 games at the end of the year, including both playoff games. So if you don't have either one of those, I don't think you necessarily want Emmanuel Wilson to be the next man up on a game day just yet. You would love for him to be your 3rd running back. But that might very well be the case on Friday, September 6th in Brazil. And I thought what he showed and what Merriweather showed and even Nate McCrary showed were encouraging signs that, hey, in the short term, we've got some options if neither one of those other 2 guys are available to us.
I think it's pretty important for A.J. Dillon to be healthy, to be that second back, because if he's not, there's a chance you get pipped. Like, he could be a pipper. There are a lot of spots that you don't want to just go and find guys, but there's a lot of good running backs that are going to be practice squad and young players that Goody has a knack of finding guys. So you hope that AJ's stinger issues get a little time and subside and that he's able to, be that guy in the second spot. But I don't think the Packers, I would disagree with you in the fact that if it's Emmanuel Wilson, he's had a great camp. He's shown a lot. I think he was pushing to be the 2 regardless. And with some of the injury things, again, who else is out there? But if the Green Bay Packers, they're going to lean more on Josh Jacobs than they've leaned on a number 1 running back for a long time.
Right.
Like, if you're advising in fantasy football, I think if Josh Jacobs stays healthy, he's going to have a heck of a year. He's going to get a lot of touches. I don't think it's going to be the same rotation that we saw with Aaron Jones. He's here to be a workhorse. That doesn't mean you don't need someone to spell him and to be available when something happens to Josh Jacobs, which inevitably it does to running backs in this league because of the physicality of that position. But I don't think Green Bay will have one problem at all if Emmanuel Wilson is their second back heading down to Brazil. I just don't. I think they'd be fine with that.
I think that they have expressed some concerns about him as a pass protector and a pass catcher out of the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say he's going to be the third down back. You want to be the second back.
He's a work in progress for those things. But yeah,
well, I'll say this: you can't play on third down if they don't feel great about it. Josh Jacobs going to have to be out there all the time because that is the fastest way. And I promise you this: who's Philadelphia's D coordinator? I know they fired everybody last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure right now.
All right. Well, if I'm the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I find out that A.J. Dillon's not going to be able to play, and that they have to put Emmanuel Wilson out there, I am going to match up and blitz I am going to put him in a position that he has to show that he can block. That you can guarantee. You can take that to the bank if that is what ends up happening.
It's Vic Fangio.
Fanch.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll bring some pressure.
Yeah, he'll make things interesting. Kellen Moore is their offensive coordinator. All right.
That's
Jesse,
an operation that
couple
they
of
better,
head coaching
they better,
candidates
let
there,
me tell you
huh?
something. They better get off to a fast start if I'm Sirianni, because if they don't, a deuces B. And it might be deuces, a double B, if you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean? Deuces, double B. Is there a coach that's pretty good with the double B initials?
Oh.
They're going to fire Nick Sirianni and hire Bill Belichick in season?
I would.
It's a bold strategy.
Why is that bold?
I don't think you can just bring in a head coach in the middle of the year and expect it to be just fine. That seems tricky.
Let me tell you something. I'd have no qualms at all. I have an offensive coordinator that you hope has had a ton of experience, and you're telling me if the Eagles stink early and they think they're a championship contender, I'd bring in Bill Belichick in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. I'm saying usually when coaches get fired, they don't bring in other coaches. Jeff Saturday worked out pretty well when the Colts
they won a
fired
game.
somebody in season. They did.
They played for a division title at the end of the year.
I don't think that was
Jesse,
that year. But
Jesse, what's your positive?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was the year before. My bad.
yeah, they only won 1 or 2 games with him. So.
Yeah, they were terrible.
So Emmanuel Wilson was near the top of my list, but also the defense only allowed 177 yards. 2 of 10 were the Ravens on third down.
Quoth nevermore.
So as much as it was backups against backups, it was impressive sitting in the stands watching the defensive effort. And that of all the things that you want to feel good about going into the season, I was hoping you'd feel decent about where the defense stands under the new system and everything, and it looked like it was working, granted against the backups of the backups for the Ravens, but if it was the Packers backups playing too, then hopefully it came down to system, and that makes me feel good about it heading into the year.
All right, Tausch, what's your negative?
I mean, I'll take the low-hanging fruit because it's preseason 3. I will not do low-hanging fruit in the regular season. Kicking.
But you'll reference all the low-hanging fruit en route to saying
Sometimes
what
I do.
your point is.
Sometimes I do. Apricots, not a low-hanging fruit, by the way.
Oh, really? They're high?
Yeah, I
on the
think
tree?
Anders Carlson. I was really hoping that things would be solidified and you'd feel good about moving into the regular season. And the question marks, you don't want a ton of question marks when you're making these cuts. You want it to be, gosh, he's such a good player. I hate putting him out on waivers. You don't sense that's the case. And unfortunately, I think him missing that little chippy has reignited some of the doubt that the front office had in him. And that was the position that I think most Packer fans, because of the youth and the flexibility that this roster has, that was the one spot that you felt like needed to get solidified. And I think all through camp and everything else, you don't feel any better about it than you did before.
We'll break down tackle talk when we talk to Brian Bulaga later in the week, but I thought, for a group that was hoping to have someone emerge as their swing tackle, if Kadeem Telfort doesn't grade out at 98% like A.J. Dillon did, I think they're going to be scouring for an option. And that's my negative, is that I think they were hoping, as much as you liked what the offensive line did, and Kadeem Telfort, I thought, played fine, but are they ready to give him that job? If they're not, they're going to be searching, because Andre Dillard seemed to be kind of getting his act together and then suffered the shoulder injury, has not practiced since the game in Denver, so they still have that hanging over them like low-hanging fruit. Jesse, you're negative?
I mean, the kicker...
Too hot.
How closely did you watch the game?
No, we watched it very closely. We watched it very closely until the middle of the third quarter, and then we decided it was time to go.
Beat the traffic before Devin Williams came in.
I wanted to be more original than saying that the backup quarterbacks weren't impressive, but I guess that's the other low-hanging fruit, that neither Michael Pratt nor Sean Clifford
Well, you don't
felt
have to
like
say
they
that.
totally...
Say something else.
Well, I'm not...
They each had a pretty good thrower, too.
They
just weren't consistent.
They had moments, but I don't feel good about where that stands. And you guys touched on that plenty in the first hour, that if it comes down to those guys having to step in for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations for a month or 6 weeks where the season can still stay on the rails as long as they can keep you at 500 in their starts. Like, I don't feel good about either of them doing that right now. And so Taylor Heineke or Marcus Mariota or whoever else that has NFL starting experience, I've decided I've seen enough of Clifford and Pratt to know, like, I think Pratt has a higher ceiling than Clifford. And I just think, like, I think the Sean Clifford thing, if you need someone who has some college experience that can step in and play if Love needs to go out, sure. But I think an NFL veteran to come in as a backup quarterback is the move for this season.
Let's pull this. Heineke.
Barnicky.
Who else do we
Guy
want?
owes me money.
Heineke, Tannehill.
Yeah, by the way, correction from earlier as I looked at Pro Football Reference. Tannehill arrived in Tennessee in 19, which would have been the year that LaFleur left. So they were
Little
two
fake
ships
news action
passing.
from Wilde, huh? Okay.
Two ships passing in the night. I would say it's inaccurate news.
Isn't that well? Whatever. Tannehill.
I think fake indicates
Heineke. So is Heineke available, or is he a third-string quarterback right now?
He is currently a third-string
so
quarterback.
he's not even available.
Right,
but he might be.
But he might be. We're looking at guys they could trade for. Bailey Zappi.
A lot of guys could be.
Well, no, realistically, he
Dude,
might
don't
be.
be a knob.
I'm not
about
being
this
a
one.
knob.
Yeah, you. Oh, it's even available.
Well,
You lit up when we said Heineke earlier.
I like
possibility.
Heineke has shown some good things.
Would you throw the Falcons a 7th-round pick for Heineke?
No, I value 7th-round picks too much. I'd give a 6th.
If it means saving the season from losing a Super Bowl versus...
Let me tell you something. If you're putting all your eggs in the Heineke basket, you're going to have
No
a
one's
lot
putting
of
all
yolk.
their eggs in the Heineke.
You're going to have
All
a lot of what happened with... You're going to have some rotten eggs, is what I'm telling you.
It's not putting all your eggs in the Heineke basket. It's putting your eggs in either the Heineke basket or the Clifford basket if it comes to it.
So I think this is more... And Jason, you'll get to the crux of this with your poll. Do you want a veteran or do you want one of these young guys? That's it.
Go out and get somebody.
Do you
pick one of them that
want
you've got
that?
already? Yeah, I'll put that in the field.
I still go youth. The days of the old school, Jason Love and Matt Ryan and Phil Rivers to play last year. I just am not interested in that anymore. But I would have been wrong with the Cleveland Browns picking up Flacco. So it's kind of a fascinating little deal. And I don't know if I even look at Heineke as some old washed-up dude. Like, I don't see him that way. So I'm voting Heineke.
He's not old, and he's not washed up.
So where does he fit?
Well,
a middling,
again,
so, Jason, veteran quarterback, rookie, or a middling journeyman? I think that's a slap to Heineke's face, but it's accurate, right? He's been a middling journeyman quarterback. Fair?
Fair. He's had some good moments, and he's bounced around, and now he is potentially going to be on the trade markets. He's not available right now. Let me be very clear about that.
He started a playoff game.
He almost beat Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just tell us about AmFam, please?
I certainly can. Hey, Packer fans, looking for the ultimate game day experience? Well, American Family Insurance, they have you covered. Picture this. Hitting your very own VIP tailgate party. Then cheering on the Packers, not from just some ordinary seats, from jaw-dropping seats. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes to win amazing game tickets, some would say jaw-dropping, a private tailgate exclusive. Not Tyler Heineke.
Taylor.
Not Pratt. Is it Taylor? Why do I say Tyler Heineke?
Fake news.
You get Jordan Love merch. Much, much more, including all of those great seats. You get the great VIP experience. Don't miss out. Visit amfam.com/Packers. That's amfam.com/Packers to enter. Must enter by 11:59, not 12, not 12:01, on October 21st. See
after
official
breakfast.
rules at amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
All right. Today's Wilde and Tausch poll question will be in the field. We will ask the question next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Lettering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free and-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 3124.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do, pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Preseason football is underway, but you can also pick more or less on 2024 season stats on Prize Picks. Will Patrick Mahomes throw for more or less than 4,300 yards? Jordan Love, they have them all. Enter your season picks before week 1 kicks off. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
If you are Goody, what are you more likely to do for the Packers' backup quarterback? Keep Clifford or Pratt, or go get a veteran backup / journeyman to back up Jordan Love? All right, Tausch, you are the king of predictions when it comes to our polls. I know we have been
I'm going to be
less
right
consistent.
on this one. I'm going to be right on this one. And you didn't put middling journeyman, right? It's just veteran or young player.
My choice was you only get 25 characters for the poll answers.
Thanks,
so I did
Elon.
I did. That's your guy. Vet. I said go with Clifford or Pratt. or find a vet journeyman?
Yeah, I think the answer our fans are going to give is find a vet journeyman, and I think the reason is because it's different, and I don't think they loved.
Right now.
Really? Interesting. Well, I'm not always right. I mean, I maybe wasn't right on the corn eating contest. I've been wrong a little bit more than I probably like.
That was a different judge's fault. 57%.
That's early. Potato corridor's not even involved.
20. We're 20 votes in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
which is always
corridor.
Good.
We got Lake
Elon
Country.
would just give me back my.
We haven't hit Lake Country. I don't know where Lake Country's vote's coming. There you go.
That's fair.
Big old.
Oh, I think I know where Lake Country's voting. Right now,
which way is Lake Country going?
57% Clifford and Pratt's, 42% find a vet journeyman.
Which way is Lake Country? I'm curious. Which way? But I think Potato Corridor is going to go veteran. Where do you think Lake Country's going?
Yeah, I wasn't referring to this poll. So, whether or not Goody thinks this way, I am very curious to find out. Because the fact that LaFleur had the opportunity to say something to the effect of, look, I know both those guys have had ups and downs, but we like them both a lot. There's a lot of things that go into this decision. But the fact that he said, see what else is out there in both instances seems pretty significant to me, especially when he spent the game standing with Goody on the sideline.
Yeah, you love that he's standing by Goody. It is strong, and it's not. But again, watch what they do, not what they say. And especially at this time, there's a lot of subterfuge and different things. But I would guess you believe in your team that it's right there.
He's proud of his town.
You want to have as much experience, and you just got to have trust. I don't even necessarily know if it's experience. And I don't know if they trust Sean Clifford. Honestly, I think the first 3 or 4 days of training camp, when Jordan Love was holding in, and when that didn't go as smoothly as I think people had hoped, that gets, there's a lot of times as a backup quarterback, the best thing for you is to just continue to be a backup. And maybe that is where Sean Clifford's at.
We're up to 63 votes in about a minute, and it's 50.8% go with Clifford or Pratt, 49.2% find a vet journeyman.
The potatoes are starting to come in.
Yeah. Well, Clifford or Pratt or Mike White, they better hope that they never have to say, pour me in, Coach.
Well, Jesse, it was hot out. Tito's handmade vodka on game day. Yeah, pour me in, Coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack a spicy Bloody Mary for your warm-up. Salt the rim of a Tito Rita during halftime, or you take home the win with a Tito's and anything. Cherry juice, soda, cranberry, water with a squeeze of lemon. I don't care what it is. You're calling the game. You change up your roster or wash that lucky jersey or wash your clothes if you're at Lambeau. And as long as you make Tito's your first round bottle pick, whose house? Oh, it's Tito's house. You know that's right. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
I want you to hear Matt LaFleur's answer when I asked him what kind of team he thinks he has on his hands.
Ooh, tease.
Well, I don't know how you'll feel about the answer. I remember sitting there going, it's not what I was hoping for.
I'm sure glad you're going to play that audio.
Well, no, I think it illustrates maybe a little bit of the uncertainty, but also how confident he is in what he has in his team. We'll hear it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Max Raymer from Sun Prairie East High School. Welcome, Max.
Thanks for having me, Dennis.
Three-sport athlete, football, basketball, and golf. When was the first sport you remember playing?
It's got to be golf. 6 years old, I got my first hole-in-one with my dad. That's my best memory and my first ever sport I started playing. Now that I'm getting into my high school career and coming up to an end here, it's definitely between basketball and football.
Had a pretty successful basketball season last year. And football, you're a safety. Now this year, going to the other side of the ball.
Absolutely, quarterback.
When you look back on your time at Sun Prairie and Sun Prairie East, now the two schools, what's going to stand out the most?
Definitely just the people, the teachers, all the coaches, the relationships. I built so many good friendships on and off the court and field, course, whatever you want to call it. That definitely will stand out the most to me, just the people that have been around.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Hooterville, Jerry's Place, Remington's Tavern, and Wilson's Bar and Grill.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at two convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Saturday, August 31st on ESPN Radio. College football is finally back.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
8th ranked Penn State at West Virginia on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
All right, so here's what I asked Matt LaFleur after the game. Tausch, you tell me, put your Tausch translator hat on and tell me what you think of this exchange. when you're able to sit 38 starters or whatever you did today, you obviously have
it 38?
It was 30. I don't know how many.
It's more than I counted. But
I'm just curious, do you feel like you have a pretty good handle on what kind of football team you have? I know you can't know for certain, but from this past month, what kind of football team do you think you might have?
well, I think we got a bunch of guys that are willing to grind and work and do the things that we want them to do. But ultimately, I think the true test is when you start getting into the season and then you face some adversity, and how do you respond to that adversity? I was super proud of our group a year ago in regards to being able to handle a 4-game losing streak and things not going great, quite frankly. And those guys continue to work and show up every day with a good attitude, and we got better. And I think if there were some valuable lessons learned along the way in regards to how you have to respond when things aren't going your way, and you just got to keep, your head down and keep working.
Tausch, does that mean he knows he's got a really good team and he's just not going to come out and say it? Or does it mean that he's not really sure what he's got either until adversity hits and he sees how they respond?
No, I think he knows he's got a good team. And I also think he's not trying to hide it, but he also isn't going to shout from the rooftops. He's going to say, let's go prove it. And that's, I think, you don't want false confidence. I heard Jordan Love, and I don't know what podcast he was on. He came out and said, this is a championship team. Like, this is a team that we feel really good about. There's not going to be some low expectation game being played with this group. And I can assure you that's not the messaging that Matt LaFleur gave you is not what is being said in that room.
Mm-hmm.
They are thinking, why not Stuart Smalley? We're good enough, gosh darn it, and we can win a championship. So all of the other stuff that is being said is accurate. He's just not going to give you everything because I don't think it helps you. One of the nice things about last season was the expectation game wasn't there. He had been dealing with, you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback and an MVP, you're expected to win a world championship. Anything short of that is a failure.
Yep.
And now I don't think you need to put those expectations on these young guys because there's enough. There's enough pressure regardless. Those guys believe it, but you don't need to shout it from the rooftops. You could just say, we're going to work. We're going to keep working. We're going to plug. And he basically is saying, I like the moxie
cut of their jib
of this group, which is all you want to hear. I'm not interested in a bunch of shallow platitudes. Oh, man, we're going to win a champion. Okay,
but
let's go see it.
Do you want, hey, it's Super Bowl or bust? Like, do you want?
Not at this point, I don't know.
Okay, because there have been years where, like, we would actually dissect whether or not Brett Favre said, hey, this is Super Bowl or bust. Mm-hmm. Oh, he didn't say it. Does he not believe that this is a Super Bowl team? So, I don't like that game as a reporter because what some of us do then is that we make a big deal on whatever they said, and then
you, though. You never do that.
No, I try not to, frankly, but I'm sure I've gotten caught up in it too.
You're a big word parser.
I am a big word parser.
That actually might be your nick. Shaq has the big Aristotle.
Big Aristotle.
You'd be the big word parser.
Yeah, thank you. I've been called worse, that's for sure,
including on this show. I think he's gonna put up the big word parser. That's what he should do.
Football guy. But do you want? So you don't want this team coming out? You just said Jordan Love did say on some podcast that it's a championship team.
I did not listen to the podcast. I can only go off of the headers on it, and it was parsed out as saying this is a championship caliber team.
You're quoting him on something.
I'm not quoting him. I didn't go like this. I didn't quote him.
You said he said on a podcast.
Something like that is what I said. Yes. So take that for what it's worth. Go listen to the podcast that he was on. I don't even know what podcast
I can't tell you what it is.
I don't know.
But it's on Wisconsin On Demand.
No, I wish. I don't want young players. There is so much pressure on players in this league now that I don't need them to throw these crazy platitudes out there. We all know what our expectations are as fans. It's different than last year. I told you last year, enjoy the playoffs because this will be the last year. If Jordan Love continues to progress, there ain't going to be any, hopefully we win some games and maybe make the playoffs. Those days are over, which is awesome that we didn't have this long extended window of suckitude. which some people thought might happen.
Rebuilding.
We had none of it. And now we're in a position that this team is good enough to win big. But I don't need Matt LaFleur pounding his chest saying we're going to win the whole blanket thing. I want him to tell his guys that's the goal.
Right.
But they don't need to shout it from the rooftops. I'm fine with them being subtle and showing us, not telling us, what they're going to end up being as a football team.
Fair enough. All right. Jesse and Tausch are going to play a little Need It or Don't Need It presented by Fleet Farm. I will try and rejoin the show a little bit later in the program if possible. In the interim, want to remind you that you got to get to Fleet Farm. You got to do it right now because their bucket sale is going on. Buy a 5-gallon Fleet Farm bucket and get 15% off everything you can fit inside said bucket. Shop in store through Wednesday, August 28th. That's this Wednesday. So you got today, you got tomorrow.
Question, what if I put a
Wednesday.
bucket over a lawnmower? Does the lawnmower get 15% off?
Is the lawnmower in the bucket?
The bucket
is
is
the bucket
in the
on
lawnmower.
top of the lawnmower?
The bucket's on top. Obviously, it's not going to fit in a 5-gallon bucket, but if the bucket is covering the lawnmower.
Does it sound like that applies to the deal?
I feel like I read the rules fairly
All
clearly.
Right. I just want to make sure our judgment is good.
Well, let me let the other 3 judges decide, and then I can blame them if they get it
Did you ever
wrong.
hear the Supreme Court? There's 9 judges that do that, so it's not always just one judge. Okay.
No, but they're not always pointing fingers saying those
they
guys.
point a lot of
well,
fingers.
Yeah,
Trust me, they do.
Right, but all never mind.
Called dissent. Have you ever heard of dissent? Go back.
Yeah, but you
finish your read.
You didn't even dissent. You just were uninvolved.
What? Because I wasn't there. I didn't have all the access to the information.
What kind of a judge are you?
What kind of judge?
You can't fit a lawnmower in the bucket. Problem solved.
Okay.
So again, the bucket sale goes through Wednesday, so make sure you get over there and save 15% on something smaller than a lawnmower.
Shouldn't the postman have the bucket over his head?
You know, Fleet Farm's also got everything you need for everyday life. Turn his mic off, would you? But did you know they also have the best prices guaranteed? Any day, every day, from pet food to auto essentials and more, you won't find better deals. Shop the best prices guarantee today, in-store or online at fleetfarm.com.
Don't you want to just go try and see what you can all fit in a bucket?
I do, and I need to go get some bubbler drinks, so I'm going to see if I could stack the cases in a way that I could save 15% on like 3 or 4 of them.
That'll fit in the bucket.
It's going to be a
But you
challenge.
can't rip open the cases of bubbler and like
pour the
cans in.
Part of the Well, theoretically, you could open them up and then you could flatten out the boxes.
Yeah.
And slide the boxes
as long
in.
as the box is in the bucket.
This
right?
might be This might be a digi only. What can Wilde fit in a bucket?
Let's revisit this.
You only have till Wednesday. Get to it.
Can you disassemble the lawnmower so you can
just part it out? I just want the muffler.
You guys can figure that out without me next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're less than a week away from Wisconsin football kicking off, and at least one AP writer is bullish on the Badgers this season. Ralph Russo released his prediction for the inaugural 12-team playoff and has Wisconsin slated as the 10 seed. Just one more reason to get excited about a new season of Badger football. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day this Friday, beginning at 4 p.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey Badger fans, fall is right around the corner and so is the return of Badger football. Experience the excitement of Friday Night Lights at Camp Randall Stadium on August 30th as the Badgers take on Western Michigan. Individual tickets start at just $35 with all-inclusive group packages still available. Visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to secure your seats for the Friday night home opener of Wisconsin football on August 30th. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come, right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Wilde and Tausch back with you.
What are you doing here?
I'm hosting the show because Jason...
I think he's going to fill his bucket up at Fleet Farm.
That might be what he's up to. I don't actually know what he's up to.
What would you go with, though? Like, if you're going? Like, because you think about it, you can go get candy and just, like, pile it in there.
Yeah, like if you have, like, a candy dish at your desk at your office... and you want to just keep filling that thing up and people keep coming and taking it all, this would be the time to go stock up on candy. You get everything 15% off. Just toss it all in the bucket.
You're not going to fit a lawnmower in there, but parting it out, interesting. Got a lot of creativity, I bet, over at Fleet Farm right now.
I think you load up on the small things to get as much as you can for 15% off. So,
but what you get a big ticket item, 15% of a big number is a lot better than 15% of a small number.
See, I think you go quantity and go for the most things you can fit, like car air fresheners. The little things you put up on the dash or up on that mirror. Like
I know what a car air
Put a few
freshener
of those in there. Put some candy in there for the candy dish.
What if you just went and got piles of gift cards and dumped them in there?
I'm guessing certain rules do apply for the bucket.
That's why I asked.
Gift card, I feel like that would be kind of circumventing the rules at Fleet Farm. I would imagine... I don't know. I haven't seen the fine print, and we don't have that posted at ESPNWisconsinContest.com, which is more.
I'm sure there are
my purview.
Yes, I'm sure there's some stipulations within the bucket game that's being played.
So Jason was telling us all about the bucket because we're getting ready to play Need It or Don't Need It Preseason Edition, presented by Fleet Farm.
Need it?
I guess you're just what I need.
or don't need it. Presented by Fleet Farm. Remember, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, then you don't need it. Fleet Farm, serving the Midwest since 1955.
I wanted to say Emmanuel Wilson was my positive, but you guys kind of claimed that from me.
You tried to say, I don't want to say this, but...
He averaged almost 5 yards a carry. He was
super positive, yes.
He looked to me like the best player on the Packers offense on Saturday.
Yeah, Bo Melton looked pretty good.
Bo looked good, but Bo's also like probably the first guy of the starters who didn't play. But Emmanuel Wilson looked really good. So my question for you, Tausch, need it or don't need it, does Emmanuel Wilson need to be on the 53-man active roster?
Yeah. We just were talking about him potentially being the backup going down to Brazil.
Well, last week we asked, does A.J. Dillon need to play this week to secure his spot on the roster? Are they going to keep 4 running backs?
I just think the injury part of this will kind of throw everything into a little bit of a quandary, because I agree with Jason. Lloyd's going to be he's going to be on IR short-term pup. Whatever it's going to be, he's going to be not on the actives to start. A.J. Dillon, we don't know. I'm sure he's doing everything in his power to be healthy enough to play. I wonder where Green Bay's head's at with him. And I think it really comes down to, is there somebody out there that they've loved that they didn't get, undrafted free agent or a draft pick that they didn't get that is now available, that somebody's trying to stash, that they really want in there? The problem is they have to have somebody that they feel good about. And Jason's point on Emmanuel Wilson is, listen, the kid's running his tail off. You give him outside zones and the running game. I don't think anybody's going to argue he's ready to go. But that's not all that entails of being a running back in this league, and especially now with catching the ball out of the backfield, which Matt LaFleur is going to ask. But really, the big part, you got a $220 million quarterback. Are you going to leave him out there on third down when Vic Fangio is scheming up things to get one-on-one with their linebackers on him? Are you going to feel comfortable putting him out there? It sounds as if that's not where the Packers are at with him yet. So that spot with the injuries, very interesting what they do with A.J. Dillon, because Emmanuel Wilson does need to be on this roster.
I agree. It also furthers my theory that running back, even though we do love running backs and that they are valuable components of the team, they are the most replaceable position in football, in my opinion. I've had that opinion for 8 to 10 years.
There is a lot of young players that just need their opportunity, and there have been more 5th, 6th, 7th undrafted studs that have played in this league. And Aaron Jones, I believe, was a 5th-round pick. He was a stud for this team. Ryan Grant was a late pick. He was a stud on teams that I played for. There are a lot of guys. The Denver Broncos made a living just grabbing guys and putting them in the system and letting them churn. I understand your point.
Need it or don't need it?
So while we were at the game...
Then why do you spend $12 million a year on Josh Jacobs if that's how you feel?
I don't know if that's money well spent, but we're going to find out.
And you tried to trade for JT23.
I guess that's money you can spend when you have receivers that are as cheap as they are for the next year or two. So I guess it all factors in a little bit. There's always been this obsession, I don't know if it's just been the last 5 years or if it's gone back further than that, with Packers fans doing the wave while the Packers are on offense. And it happened again on Saturday, and when it happened, a video message from Jordan Love popped up on the board saying, are we really doing the wave on offense right now? Knock it off. And yeah. Need it or don't need it. Do the Packers need to dial back the obsession with fans getting fans, I should say, to stop doing the wave when the team is on offense?
No. I am always here for fans to enjoy themselves at games. Do what you do. There's plenty of time to do the wave. I'm telling you as a player, and if you're a fan that wants to help your team win, which I believe 99% of fans come to the games, they want to have a great time and a great experience, but they want to see their team win. You make an impact. Fans make a huge impact. Going into the Metrodome, I can still hear that noise just bubbling in my head, and the headaches you have after because you got to focus so intently on watching the ball because you can't hear a thing. I don't want, if I'm at home, at Lambeau, where I finally get an advantage of having to be able to hear the snap count and all the adjustables, schematically. You can't do that in loud places. I'm not interested and the fans making a ton of noise when we're on offense, live during a game when you could do it during the commercial break. I can understand why the Packers front office are putting this Jordan Love video out there. Don't do it. The wave is not that cool. Do it as much as you want when the defense has the football or when the defense is on the field. Or there's so many commercial breaks now. Just do it during the commercial. I love the wave. Do the quick one. Whoop, whoop. Go ahead. Knock yourselves out. Just don't do it when the team's on offense. It's not that hard.
Doesn't matter in preseason.
But you want to prep yourself for the regular season.
It's preseason for the fans too. Yeah.
Like, is it the biggest deal in the world? No. But you want to help your team win. This ain't doing it. Period.
Need it or don't need it?
Were you getting up and doing the wave?
No, I actually, even when the team was on defense and they were doing it, I did not get up and do it. Too hot. The wave didn't cool you down. I just went, get up, get down, get up, get down. Then you lose your position.
Yeah, they should do spritz. Battle. They should do some spritzing.
You jostle for positioning on those bleachers because you get bumped down. Like if you're on the ends, which we're kind of toward, we're seats 3 and 4. If you're on the ends, you would think those are the better seats, but the people in the middle, they can spread out a little more leg room, and then it has the repercussions for the people on the ends. If you don't have those seat backs, you're in trouble.
You think they should have like a keister where you have to fit your keister in, and then if you don't, there's like wider keister seats?
I do not think the Packers should implement wide keister seats. No, I don't think they should do that.
Need it or don't need it?
Don't need it.
Oh, okay. Just
Field.
Asking questions.
But need it or don't need it. So I had not been to a preseason game in 8 or 9 years, and the last time I'd gone was the first time I'd ever actually gone as a fan to a Packers game. So this was a really new experience for me going to the preseason game, and it was a little lackluster outside the stadium. I don't know if it was because it was noon on a Saturday and that it was hot, or if this was what it is for all preseason games, but the establishments we usually hit up didn't have the live music and the fun and games going on like they normally do. Just definitely a died-down atmosphere outside the stadium. We walked right in. Like, we went in at the usual time we go in. Usually there's a 30-minute line to get in. We walked right in, piece of cake, right through those metal detectors, good to go. Need it or don't need it, do the establishments around Lambeau Field need to treat a preseason game like a regular season game? You only get so many out of the year. Why not live it up?
No, you don't. You're not going to have the same crowds, so you're going to staff it and then pay more and lose money? Like, you guys know your business a lot better than you do, Jesse. No offense to you. You're still going to have drinks available. You're still going to want to make money. But are you going to do the Packers treat their home opener where they're bringing in bands the same way they do this? They didn't. You going to criticize them?
No, the home opener is different. The first game is a celebration of, we're back. Football's back. But when all these local businesses, they thrive on game days. They only get 9, maybe 10 of them a year.
And they want to make
situation.
money. So what you want them to overstaff and then put some big entertainment out when they're not going to get the same crowds. You're not going to have as many folks just coming in to watch the game at their bar as you would for a regular season home game. So you have to be smart about how you're going to operate your business. It can't just be, well, there's a game, we got to go big. It's a preseason game, and we've seen from everybody the preseason continues to lose relevance, and they're doing it intentionally so that they can get a 18th game. That's what's happening here. This isn't rocket science to figure this out.
What I remember from 8 or 9 years ago is the party was still living. I mean, that was a Thursday night game we had gone to.
You're living in the past, man. Your mama's preseason ain't your preseason. It ain't going to be your kids' or dog's preseason.
It's changed.
It's going to get more and more on the other side, and you're going to try to get more regular season games, and they're, I think, intentionally not legitimizing, that's not the right word I'm looking for, but they're trying to make this less and less appetizing for fans and players and TV so that they can get more regular season games and get those more windows so that they can make more money.
And it's working.
Hard. Well, it's 100% working.
Need it or don't need it is presented by Fleet Farm. The establishments, Tausch, that we went to, we were at the usual ones around Lambeau. We didn't get over to Quick Trip. Maybe that's where all the action was taking place on Saturday afternoon.
Summer weather, not today, but soon, is about to turn to fall, and my grill has been getting quite the workout. My go-to right now, of course, from Quick Trip is ground beef straight from the quickery, $2.99 a pound. When I want to make burgers from scratch, and Max did that the little crusty little smash burgers. Oh, baby, it's the perfect ingredient. And you know ground beef deals aren't the only thing Quick Trip has to offer. Chicken. And today's Monday, roasted chicken for $5.99. And on Wednesday, you got your bone-in and tender deals for $9.99 on Wednesdays. And did I mention that the tenders, they are so good, hand-breaded and boneless. Grab Quickery white bread for 99 cents a loaf and make some sandwiches. And we're in Wisconsin after all, so the dairy deals at Quick Trip are second to none. Nature's Touch American cheese. $1.98. Put them on your smash burgers. Perfect for a classic grilled cheese if that's what you want with that Quickery white bread. And you finish off every meal with Nature's Touch vanilla or chocolat ice cream for $2.99. All those deals and more at Quick Trip. Download the Quick Rewards app to order ahead and earn points. Take care of the payment and just stop by to pick it all up or get it brought to you curbside. Came into town. My fuel light just hit when I pulled in.
Oh, boy.
I got to run. I got to do some work over at the stadium today. I am going all the way back to SP tonight, and I think I'll be fine, but I may be calling you to grab me a little gas at Quick Trip if I run out.
All right. I'll be on standby. I got nothing better to do. You know me.
And it might actually be great Digi, which you know I love. I love good Digi.
How do you want to approach that Digi? Me answer? You want me filming myself as you call me saying, hey, I need some gas?
No, I want it to be more organic. Just when you go to Quick Trip with the red can, you got to put a little gas in there to get Old T back to the finish line. That's more about, and then you can interview me like why I was such an idiot to not put gas in earlier. And I don't really have a great answer for you.
First, I'd have to go over to Fleet Farm and buy one of the red cans. So this could be
just put it in the bucket.
Put it in the bucket. We're good to go. Honestly, we were going to do positives and negatives reviewing coming up next, but there really haven't been that many that have been submitted. I don't know if it's because the game was on Saturday or it was just kind of a blend.
Or because there's the third preseason game.
Right.
Yeah. But we just got to be honest about where we're at.
But a lot of interesting returns to the poll question that Jason has posed within the last hour. Not the dryer sheet question. Clifford or Pratt or a veteran backup? We will hear what Matt LaFleur said answering Jason's question about how he assessed Pratt and Clifford on Saturday. And we'll check some of the returns and responses to that poll question coming up in 2 minutes. Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball on 100.5 ESPN. From the season opener tomorrow night to the NCAA tournament, catch every thrilling match all season long right here on 100.5 ESPN. Wisconsin-Louisville tomorrow night. Pre-game coverage starts at 7:30. First serve around 8 o'clock. It's actually game 2 of a doubleheader televised nationally on ESPN2, so that start time could fluctuate just a little bit. The 53-man active roster could be in some fluctuation over the next 24 hours, with roster cuts coming by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That, of course, comes after Wisconsin. The Green Bay Packers defeat the Baltimore Ravens 30-7 in the preseason finale on Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field. Plenty of reactions continuing to roll in on the back of quarterbacks, the kicker spot, and a whole lot more. Keep it locked right here to Wilde and Tausch and all of our shows all day long on ESPN Madison. That includes the Great Dane Huddle tonight from 6 to 7 at the Hilldale location. Rob Domowski with more as well over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Baseball, the Brewers off today after taking 2 of 3 from the Oakland Athletics over the weekend. They host the Giants tomorrow night.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet.
o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Jason had to step away. We're hoping he'll be able to rejoin us again before the conclusion of this morning's show. Reacting to the Green Bay Packers' 30-7 preseason victory over the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday at Lambeau Field. I was there. That's the news.
What I heard.
We left middle of the third quarter. Too hot.
No problem. You got out easy. You got home in 2 hours?
Yeah, Becca actually went and bought a phone before the game ended.
A phone?
Yeah, we drove down the road. She had her family's phone provider that she's been part of for a long time was just down the road. So we stopped, bought the phone. I watched Anders Carlson miss the 32-yard chip shot, sitting waiting for her to finish buying her phone. We got all that done before the game even ended.
Just wait, you watched on TV or on your phone?
On my phone, on the baby phone at the phone store. Yeah.
Couldn't she have left early and come back and picked you up?
Well, no, it's like extra 25 minutes to go home. We were staying by your parents' house for the night, so
gotcha.
we were going back there.
You don't want to backtrack,
right? With the we beat the traffic, so we had to take care of business. So caught everything that happened. All the relevant stuff.
Do you have that? What is that app called where you get to watch where Becca's phone is?
The Find My Phone.
No, it's like
thing, or
Gone
the
360 or something where you can track with kids, a lot of families will have that where Lenny's over at Frankie's house. Do you have that with Becca?
We do not.
Okay.
I did have it with. So the only time that I've had a roommate in the last 10 years was 2017, maybe 18, and we had the find your location kind of deal on for one another, just because it was nice to know, okay, is he home? Is he out and about or whatever? We had that. But Becca and I have never done the tracking locations thing with one another.
Okay. Interesting.
Is that, do you do that?
No, we do not.
Okay.
And I think
you strike me as someone who would never want that on
I
at all.
never would, but I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to lie to you. If and when our kids get a cell phone, that may be... That's a whole different animal. I don't love any of it. I don't like any part of it, but I'd be hypocritical if I told you. I'm going to try and probably not. Maybe it'll just be I'll let old girl handle that part of it, and I'll steer clear so that I can. But then I feel like I'm just being selfish about my principles on things. It'll be a tough call for old T when that happens. Let's put it that way.
I mean, what if Sarah said to you she would like to track you on the thing? Can you turn your location on? What would you say?
Why do you want that is my question.
See, and that's
first off, she knows me well enough to not even ask me that question.
Yeah, she knows better. I know.
But it is an interesting. It is a really intriguing dynamic because most people that I know that have kids that are Max's age that have cell phones, they do it. I don't know what we would do in that situation.
Matt LaFleur also unsure of what he's going to do with the quarterback situation for the Green Bay Packers. Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt, both with a touchdown pass, both with significant playing time on Saturday. Here is how Matt LaFleur answered Jason's question after the game on Saturday, assessing the two backup quarterbacks.
What did you think of the way Pratt and Sean both played?
I thought they competed hard. I thought they did, for the most part, they did what we asked them to do. There's a couple throws that you always want to have back. Certainly the interception there when Pratt looked like he was a flyer on punt going after the guy that picked off the ball. Was it Simpson, I believe, that picked that off? So that was a good lesson for him. You don't have to go like you're running down on kickoff and make that tackle.
On the bench, is that what you said to him, or did you
say? I absolutely did. I mean, you got to be just a little bit more cautious in that situation.
So obviously some things to work on. Head coach Matt LaFleur identifying there for Michael Pratt. I was worried he actually got seriously hurt with that.
Pretty impressive. He knew Simpson.
Yeah, that was especially because he was kind of hands off coaching much of the day. He shared that some of the assistants were handling the play calling.
You just sense that if you know that he's your guy, you say that because you're not gaining anything by not doing that, right? That's where I think those comments that we heard both at the kicker position and at backup quarterback makes you think, because nobody wants to be second fiddle, right? Nobody wants to be like an afterthought. Well, if nobody else is available, we'll do that. It's like if you're golfing and you call somebody 10 minutes before your tee time. It's like, well, I know I wasn't, what am I, like 8th on the list? All right, I guess I can show up. And then you're kind of like, well, no, I'm not even. It's just an interesting dynamic that you have here, because if you were sold on either Pratt, either Pratt right now, you would say, no, I'm just gonna roll with this kid. We're gonna go ahead and stick with the young guys. That's not what he said. That's not where he's at. And when you do that, you leave it open for, if I can find somebody better, that's what we're gonna do. Not super confidence in installing when you have those thoughts and you verbalize that publicly.
So the poll question that Jason posted about an hour ago on Twitter at Wilde and Tausch, or X. Today's Wilde and Tausch poll question. If you are Goody, hashtag Goody he went with. That's fun. What are you more likely to do for the Packers backup quarterback? Keep Clifford or Pratt, or go get a veteran backup journeyman to back up Jordan Love?
Yeah.
The poll returns with 555 votes. We have eclipsed the 500 vote mark, which you guys always say makes it statistically significant. What do you think it's at right now, Tausch?
I think veteran probably just ahead by a little bit, like 2%.
53% Clifford or Pratt.
Is that right? Okay.
So by a slight majority, Packers fans who follow Jason and have voted in this poll on Twitter are saying go with Sean Clifford or Michael Pratt instead of bringing in Taylor Heineke, Marcus Mariota, or another veteran journeyman to be the backup this year.
Yeah, that surprises me a little bit, just because of what we just heard from Matt LaFleur. And also, I just think our fans really feel like this is a team that can go get it. Like this is a championship team. And when you have that, what you want is, can I trust this guy to tread water 2-2, 3-2 if they're gone, if Jordan Love sprains an ankle badly or is going to miss a minimum amount of time? Because I think we all are looking at it. Now, in today's NFL, there's ways, if your quarterback's not that great, if you don't have one of the elite players, you can win games. But consistently, nobody really feels that way. But if you lose your stud, and Jordan Love is a stud, he's got to prove it more, but he is being paid as a stud. You lose that guy, more likely than not, your season's probably a wrap from winning a championship. But if it's 3 or 4 games and you get him back, you want somebody that you know is going to be consistent, is going to give your team an opportunity to win. Does Matt LaFleur feel like Sean Clifford or Pratt is going to do that? And judging by what I just heard, the answer is no. He does not. Now, that doesn't mean that's not going to be the scenario that you're in. And I think I always am going to skew younger, because I think old quarterbacks, they are old for a reason, and they're not with their team anymore because they're not very good anymore. So if you want to bring in Ryan Tannehill and think you're going to catch lightning, now if it's for 2 games, great. But for an extended period of time, no.
That's what everybody's saying, though, right? Like, no one's saying that if Taylor Heineke took over week 4 because Jordan Love goes down with a season-ending injury, that the Packers are still Super Bowl contenders. I don't think anybody's making that argument. And in that case, I'd rather start Pratt or Clifford, thinking they might be, if God forbid, if Jordan Love runs into injury concerns longer term, like those guys could be the next ones up. But if you're looking at keeping the season on the rails and keeping the team afloat going, I think 500 is kind of the metric if you have a backup quarterback in for 4 weeks or more. We're talking in the 4 to 8 week range. If Jordan Love's going to miss that much, a quarter to a half of the season, but he can come back and be eligible and ready to play in the postseason, and that the Packers can still make a playoff run by keeping the season on the rails, I feel a lot more confident in Taylor Heineke, who has done that and led the Washington football team to a home playoff game and almost beat Brady a few years ago, and led Atlanta to a pretty solid season last year when he was playing and had a chance to get into the playoffs at the end of the year. I'd feel a lot better about him than Sean Clifford or Michael Pratt, just from what we know about them. Michael Pratt makes more sense longer term, but for this season, if it is championship aspirations, like we've talked about under Rodgers for so many years as the starter, then yeah, you got to have someone who can keep the season afloat long enough.
So you're going to let one game say you're going to put Pratt ahead of Clifford?
What do you mean?
You just said you love Michael Pratt as a long-term viable option as a backup.
Well, I agree with what David said in reply to this poll on Twitter. So David on Twitter says, I would go with Pratt for now, considering he's nearly 4 years younger than Clifford with what appears to be more upside. If his development does not progress during the season, then make a move before the deadline. I wouldn't do that. I would bring in the veteran now and put Pratt on the practice squad, but I do like what I've seen from Pratt more than what Clifford threw a lot of picks. Clifford last year, this year, he's older too. If you just said you don't like older quarterbacks, the 4-year difference is pretty significant. So I would rather keep Michael Pratt as the backup if you're going to keep one of those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to. Sean Clifford was your backup for a full year. You've put some time in. You feel like he is somebody that you can win with. I don't necessarily know if I'm just going to, because he had a couple of bad, he had a bad half, that you're just going to wipe all that out and say, well, this guy's young. You can keep him and Clifford, put Pratt on the practice squad, and then if something happens, bring in a Heineke, or you could trade for a Heineke, or you could bring in Tannehill. I don't think you have to panic because you didn't feel like maybe the preseason went as well. Now, if you don't think he can play, move on with your life and go forward.
That's kind of, when it comes to Clifford, that's what I feel like we're at. I don't see it there. I'm confident that Pratt could develop into more, or at least you have a chance to develop him into something that could be trade-worthy if you still think Jordan Love's going to be here long-term. Or maybe he's the long-term back. I don't know what that's going to look like, but just knowing the plan and knowing the system that they've been in, it feels more
Well, it's going to be fascinating.
realistic.
You're going to find out real quickly where Goody, how he values both of these young guys. And if they go in a different direction, he doesn't trust them, and he doesn't think we can win with them. And that is what Goody's job is as the GM. Can we win 4 or 5 games with this backup? And if they feel like Sean Clifford can or Pratt can, you keep them. If you don't, you go ahead, you try to find a veteran.
We are going to play Wilde and Tausch trivia here in a moment. Before we take our caller for that, though, Tausch, I am confident in saying that I will not be selecting Michael Pratt or Sean Clifford, and probably not Taylor Heineke either at all on Prize Picks this week,
I think that's
this year.
Probably a good idea. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members. Prize Picks, the easiest, most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you versus the numbers. All you do, pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Preseason football, that is over with. Now we look at the season, 2024 stats. Patrick Mahomes, more or less 4,300 yards. You got Jordan Love. I don't think Heineke's on there, but you can go ahead and look. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game.
844-770-3776 is the number to play Wilde and Tausch trivia. Caller number 11. Caller number 11
Eli
right
Manning.
now.
Kurt Warner.
844-770-3776. It is a Monday. It is the traditional sports weekend recap category for you to get a chance to win an ESPN Wisconsin prize pack in participating. Caller number 11 to play trivia right now at 844-770-3776. Wilde and Tausch trivia is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's John Audius. Wisconsin Volleyball opens the season in Louisville, the site of this year's Final Four. Join me for the call of the Tuesday night opener right here on Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball, 100.5 ESPN.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See quicktrip.com/fanzone for details.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honey's to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honey's experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew, because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time. Add Brewers games to your after-school plans with the $9 student special tickets, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Every weekday, high school and college students score Brewers tickets for as low as $9. Get yours at brewers.com/students. Milwaukee Brewers Baseball and Miller Lite.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
Looking for a health club that truly has something for everyone? Join the largest health club in the state, Prairie Athletic Club. Hi, this is Sarah Tauscher. Find endless ways to stay fit and have fun. From group fitness classes to personal training, indoor and outdoor pools, state-of-the-art equipment, and so much more. Come see what makes the Pack the ultimate destination for all of your fitness needs. Join now and save $50 on your first 3 months. Visit prairieathletic.com today. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. Jesse and Tausch for the time being. Jason is either at Fleet Farm
I don't know
or
what the heck he's doing. He's sending us text messages during the show. I don't know what he's doing.
I thought he was pretty occupied with whatever he had going on.
I didn't think he'd be sending us like clips. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Step away from the show the day after a Packers game. I would think he's got something really important going on.
Yeah,
he's
I didn't
sending
ask.
us text still.
I know he's a busy guy.
Hope he enjoyed the Michael Pratt conversation. It is time for us to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia. We welcome back a Wilde and Tausch Trivia veteran who hasn't played in a while. It's David in Grafton, today's contestant. David, good morning. How are you?
Doing great, guys. How are you?
Awesome.
If you were going to Fleet Farm, what would you try to put in the bucket for the bucket sale for 15% off?
Paintbrushes.
Oh, you can get a lot of paintbrushes.
Paintbrushes is a good one. All right, David, the sports weekend recap. Today's category for Wilde and Tausch trivia. We'll see if we can get started with a perfect week.
And here we go. With a 9-4 loss to the Detroit Tigers on Sunday, which Major League Baseball team reached 100 losses faster than any team in the history?
The White Sox.
Yes, sir.
Faster than any team except for that one team, the 1916 Philadelphia Athletics. Want to make sure we clarify that. Nicely done, David. Historically bad, the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Question number 2. I'm glad David answered fast because I didn't have a fun answer for option number 3 there.
Just no creativity.
I mailed it in. Yeah, I mailed it in this morning.
That's fair.
Question number 2, David. The team representing which U.S. state won the 2024?
Florida.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude, he is killing it.
David watched his sports this weekend. Or he watched Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt
So
last night like I did.
David knows I'm not giving him the choices for this third question now, right?
Two bonus.
Tausch, where do you stand? I've never asked you this. Where do you stand on the Little League World Series? Do you enjoy it? Do you not care at all?
No, I mean, I think it's interesting. I'm always a little bit nervous, but I know the kids eat it up and love it. I don't want to. I'm fine with it.
You're fine with the
to
Little League?
answer it short.
Okay.
I would need a longer segment to really delve into it. Are they getting NIL money?
Tausch's official stance on the Little League World Series is he's fine with it.
Let me tell you something. They're bringing in a lot of revenue. That we can be assured of. So, a lot of other questions, but I think it's great. The kids eat it up. They love it, and that's the most important part of it. All right. In a Saints preseason game yesterday,
stay with it.
The brother of which NFL wide receiver returned a missed field goal?
Puka Nacua.
He did it!
What a stud!
A Hall of Fame performance,
That
do we say?
was. I mean, we didn't even. Not only did he not take any of the options, he didn't let us even finish the questions.
Before finishing the questions, David and Grafton gets all 3 correct.
I'm not going to lie to you. That's as impressive of a trivia showing as we've had in a long time around these parts.
Trivia Hall of Fame.
T-Hop.
It'll be its own.
He's a T-Hopper.
It'll be its own wing in the Brick and Mortar Hall of Fame in the strip
It's like
mall.
the media one. Yeah,
And,
the media. We got the trivia Hall of Fame.
The trivia portion of the Hall of Fame. David, nicely done.
So
Perfect
I think
week.
now we have to, tomorrow, whoever calls in has to do what David did. We're going to start it out, see if we can do it.
You've set the tone, David. Thanks for playing. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, love you guys.
David and Grafton.
Pretty impressive.
That was, you're right, as impressive a performance in Wilde and Tausch trivia.
And you know what else is
had.
impressive? Picking up a little extra cash and heading to Fortria clinical trials to do it. A bunch of studies. Healthy men, age 18 to 60, BMI 18 to 32. Study 1 stay, 16 nights, 1 follow-up, $8,075 for your time and participation. And then this one, if you're looking for a big old chunk of change. Body mass index 18 to 32. Healthy adults, ages 18 to 60. Study involves 1 stay, 14 nights, 11 follow-ups, $13,006 for your time and participation. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
Whoa Nelly is coming up next, featuring the cops being called for criminal activity for a source close to me over the weekend.
I'm intrigued.
We will get to that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free and-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 31/2024.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Hey, Badger fans, fall is right around the corner, and so is the return of Badger football. Experience the excitement of Friday Night Lights at Camp Randall Stadium on August 30th as the Badgers take on Western Michigan. Individual tickets start at just $35, with all-inclusive group packages still available. Visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to secure your seats for the Friday night home opener of Wisconsin football on August 30th. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
'Cause I'm a hazard to myself. Don't let me get me. No, I'm my own worst enemy. It's bad when you know yourself. So irritating.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch. Still hoping to be rejoined by Jason before the end of the show here this morning, as he had to step away for a little bit. We'll keep you posted on that. I will share the story of the cops being called, but also I did promise everyone on Twitter, Tausch. I played a little game to keep myself invested in the Packers preseason game on Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field. I'll reveal who the winners of that game are on Twitter in a moment during Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
And credit to Becca. She's actually the one who first started counting this number and then led me to think this is actually pretty good show content. I'll put this on Twitter. We'll have fans participate, and then we'll talk about it a little
Look
bit.
at Becca contributing to the show.
This is big time. So we were at the Packers game on Saturday, preseason game, and as we were tailgating.
That's what I heard in the sports centers.
As we were tailgating, where the establishments weren't going all out like they do for the regular season.
Sounds like they half-tailed it.
She asked, how many Aaron Rodgers jerseys do you think we're going to see today?
Interesting question.
Aaron Rodgers, number 12, Packers jerseys. How many do you think we were going to see today? So from the time that she posed that question, which was just after we had walked in to establishment number 1, until the time we got in our car.
From the phone place.
Not from the phone place, but no one walked into the phone place with a Rodgers jersey on either. So I guess, sure, you could say that. How many Aaron Rodgers jerseys? And we were actively looking, but it's not like we were walking up and down every section.
Did you bring up binoculars?
We did not bring up binoculars.
Okay.
So this was just in our standard line of sight.
All right.
As we walked around the stadium a little bit. We were obviously in our section for the majority of it. We were tailgating, walking in. How many Aaron Rodgers jerseys, Green Bay Packers jerseys, do you think we saw?
33.
33 is Tausch's guess. I said I'd give a shout out to whoever was closest on Twitter. There are actually several people who tied for the closest, so I will try to get to them all in a moment. The correct answer was 19.
Okay.
19 Aaron Rodgers jerseys. Most of them were little kids, so I have a feeling they were like hand-me-downs potentially from maybe some of their older siblings instead of going to buy new ones. A lot of Jordan Love. A lot of Jair Alexander.
Okay.
More than I would expect, David Bakhtiari.
Yeah,
jerseys.
Bach sold a lot of jerseys.
One Jan Stenerud.
Love it.
Which was pretty fantastic. And then some old school. Reggie White's always popular. Jordy's always popular. But I thought that was a much lower number than I anticipated it would be with 19 Rodgers jerseys we saw over the span of 4 hours or so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's overly surprising. I think maybe, I was off by 14. I don't know what you do with those jerseys. You just leave them in the house and then wait till Rodgers becomes a Hall of Famer and you rock it out when he comes back to Green Bay?
There were a lot of people who said they were disappointed they burned or threw away their Brett Favre Packers jerseys once he was welcomed back.
Yeah, I just never understand the burning of the jersey. I just don't fully comprehend that. But again, that's the beauty of this country. Fans get to do what they want within reason. If you want to buy your jersey, spend the $200, and if you want to throw it in as part of your kindling, go for it.
Shout out to Sean, Luke, Green Bay of Texas. They all guessed 21, and Jim guessed 17. So all of them off by 2.
Are you giving them something? Did they win?
No, I said I'd give him a shout out in Wonelli. And here we are. It's Wonelli. I'm giving him a shout out.
All right, shout it out.
That's our Aaron Rodgers jersey counting game.
Nelly!
I'll probably bring that back for something moving
So how many
forward.
Jordan Love jerseys did you see?
We were only counting the Rodgers jerseys, but there were a lot of Jordan Love
So
jerseys.
like 100?
Like it was by far number 1 most popular
For sure.
jersey at the game. So people are all in on him, I think, if that's any indication. And not that there was any doubt, but confirmation that people are ready to move on to the next great thing. People are believing. You don't buy a jersey in a young player who's only started for 1 year if you're not a believer that he's going to be around and be a great player for a long time. So that's what that showed me.
I would agree. You didn't see a ton of Anders Carlson jerseys.
No, not one, actually.
Whoa, Nelly!
Poor guy.
It's kind of weird. Isn't Pratt 17 too?
Yes.
I find that fascinating. It's never a good sign. Like if you're the double number, I don't even know who's more likely to make the team. If I'm being honest, I don't know which guy I would pick.
Which one should be more
Pratt or
nervous?
Anders?
Should we poll that? That's an interesting question.
That actually, I don't think we don't do the try polls anymore. It is going to be, and we're looking at what, almost 24 hours out before they have to make these cuts. I see a lot of teams are already making cuts. Green Bay will probably hold off, and knowing Goody, he'll probably cut a few people, but you want to hold on because you don't want to give any inkling of what you're doing until you absolutely have to.
Whoa, Nelly!
All right, so I mentioned that we were go to visit Becca's parents over the weekend.
You did mention that.
So
yes.
We went out to dinner on Saturday night at a establishment. I don't want to give away everything of where they live. I don't know what's fair and not in these stories, but my brother, so I have 2 brothers-in-law, Chris and Nick. So Chris just moved back from out east, and he was out and ready to celebrate with the family. Nick was away for the weekend, but Chris is temporarily staying with Nick until he gets his own place and gets situated and everything. So we're out on Saturday night, and Chris and his friend who came up, they're staying out at the bar a lot longer than the rest of us did. My father-in-law gets a call at 1 in the morning that Chris and his friend trying to get back into Nick's house were locked out because the dog moved the deadbolt lock on the garage door.
Really?
So the one door that was left open was deadbolted shut. They didn't know what to do. Before I reveal what they ended up doing, if you are in this situation, you're staying at your brother's house, you're with only your friend, your brother's not home, and you can't get in, your dogs are inside, locked out, and you've been getting after it at the bar for a few hours. What do you do?
Wow. You can't break in, right? So the deadbolt is locked. So you're literally sitting outside the garage door. Is that what you're telling me?
They're in the garage.
And
but they can't get in the garage door.
You've texted your family to see if they can give you a code of some sort to get in.
Yeah, it's just a straight,
old school key.
Yeah, lock and key at this point. The code to the garage door is not the issue. The garage is open. It's the door from the garage into the house has been deadbolted shut thanks to the dog.
You sleep in the garage.
Just sleep in the garage
and
just wait for him to get home?
What else are you going to do? I mean, you had a few, so you're not driving anywhere.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how far away you are from a hotel, and I'm not sure what time somebody's getting home. I don't even. Yeah, it's a tough call because you don't want to sleep in your car, and you got your buddy, and you're probably you're half in the bag. I think you just sleep in the garage until somebody gets home. I think that's what you got to do. Find something if there's a mattress, if there's something in there, like an air mattress or something that will make it as comfortable as possible, and you just fall asleep there.
Would you ever call the police at any point?
No. No. I mean, first off, what this dog sounds pretty good deal by this dog.
Lambo is the dog's name. Wanted the
so
house
what did
to
he end up
himself for the
doing?
night. So my father-in-law got up in the middle of the night to drive over to try and help them out. In worst case scenario, he could drive them back to their house and they could stay the night there. They ended up trying several different ways to get in. What they did in the end, after my father-in-law had called the police to see if they could help get through the deadbolt, and the brother-in-law whose house this is, Nick, just moved into it a couple of months ago. So when they asked my father-in-law what the address was, he said, I don't really know. And then they asked him if he'd been drinking all night. He goes, no, but my son has. And it was a whole thing. But I guess getting out in front of calling the police before they get called by one of the neighbors is probably a good idea.
But you're in the garage.
Yes, what they ended up doing, they went around back and they were able to cut the screens on one of the windows, and they were able to open the window and get in that way. And so they did end up getting into the house in the end.
And what did old boy that got the screen cut off, is he happy with that decision?
I'm sure he's probably not thrilled about it, but...
how did he cut? He have scissors in his hand? What is he doing?
Sure,
how did he cut this?
You have a knife or something.
He's just carrying around a pocket knife?
My father-in-law brought his truck over. He's always got some stuff in there. He's got a knife or a little pocket knife or something.
I kind of think you're on your own.
Use.
Just sleep in the garage, man. I don't think you need to be breaking windows or unless you're in danger, right? Dogs can be fine. I think he overreacted.
You think he overreacted by trying to
cutting open a screen and jumping through?
Yeah.
Yes, he overreacted.
Okay. Well,
what would Becca have done?
I would have just taken the ride back to my father-in-law's house and spent the night there.
But let's
then
say your
next
father-in-law is
day,
nowhere to be found, and it's just you guys there. You're 2 hours away from anybody you know. What are you doing?
I mean, if all else fails in that situation, probably sleep in the car or sleep in the garage.
Yeah.
And you just or just stay up all night at that point. Go back to the bar if it's still open. I don't know what time it was necessarily, but the bar might still be open. Go back to the bar, see if you can get some help from the bartender or somebody there.
That's just what a bartender wants. Hey, any way you can break into to my family's house so that I can sleep in their house because the dog locked you out.
If they could call a cab or something and just get you to a hotel or
but
whatever,
you're already there. Yeah, sometimes it's just, you just got to deal with the circumstances. This is a sleep on the garage, move on with your life type of deal. Not busting in and breaking screens and breaking windows. Fall asleep in the garage. You probably had 15 Coors Lights. You're probably ready to sleep anyways. Just call it a night.
It was a heck of a story the next day, though, when we went back over there for a little
sound like it.
Cookout on Sunday afternoon. It was a good time. That's it for Whoa Nelly. We'll see if Jason can join us for the final moments of the show. If not, we'll check back in on what our poll question stands on about Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford, or a veteran journeyman as a potential backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers this year. That's coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I've loved Pizza Hut for a long time, going back to when I was a kid, growing up participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I love that. And now Pizza Hut is changing the combo game with the new My Hut box. It's the ultimate solo meal. Starting at just $6.99, you can have your choice of a personal pan pizza or melts with a side of boneless wings or fries. You get to pick whatever entree and side you want, and you can add a 20-ounce Pepsi for just $1.50. The My Hut box is perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner on your own, or any time you're on the go. Sounds pretty good to me. Order the My Hut box today, only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're less than a week away from Wisconsin football kicking off, and at least one AP writer is bullish on the Badgers this season. Ralph Russo released his prediction for the inaugural 12-team playoff and has Wisconsin slated as the 10 seed. Just one more reason to get excited about a new season of Badger football. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day this Friday, beginning at 4 p.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Saturday, August 31st on ESPN Radio. College football is finally back.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
8th ranked Penn State at West Virginia on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Who's ready to save a bucket load at Fleet Farm? Just buy one of our signature 5-gallon buckets for $3.99 and get 15% off anything that fits inside it. Save on the best brands in fishing, hunting, and power tools. Save on pet supplies, snacks, and more. Any qualifying products that fit in the bucket are 15% off now through August 28th. Our bucket sale is just another great way to save on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Okie dokie.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. I think everyone heard you say okie dokie there, LT, just so you know.
What do you mean? You didn't say mic's on?
You had the... No, you turned your own mic on.
Well, yeah, but you told me how much time's left, and I said okie dokie. And now you're telling me you threw that up over air.
You turned your mic on.
Huh.
Okie dokie.
Hey, you're a beauty. You are a beauty, Jesse.
Thanks to everyone who's participated in today's show, including everyone who has contributed what they would do in the situation my brother-in-law was in on the text line. This is generating some response over there. Maybe I should have brought this up earlier. What was the one that I saw here? From Adam in Oregon, find camping chairs and the garage beer fridge and hunker down for the night.
Yeah, I mean, there are worse places. It's not like you're, sleeping in their front yard and they got lights on and then the neighbors are like, why is Frankie got 3 drunk idiots sleeping in his front yard? You're in the garage. Nobody's even going to know. You just sit down. You can either grab chairs. Most people have those little lawn chair type deal that you could sit in and sleep, or suck it up, man. I just camped last week. I slept in a tent. If you really want, throw a tent up, but you got a garage. That is a tent. Lay down, take a nap, have a deal, and hopefully somebody will show up and get you in the house.
920 texts in, as the wife of a very busy cop, please do not call for the police for things like this.
That's what I'm saying. You really think the cops are like, just wait a sec. You're not in any harm. You're not breaking in. You're trying to figure it out. And you want us at 1:30 in the morning, when Lord knows what else is going on out in whatever city you're in, you want us to come and bring a wire or like a scissors to cut you a hole in a screen so you can walk in so you can sleep comfortably tonight. That's what you want me to do as a police officer.
Between this, the Corn Fest controversy, the kickers, and the backup quarterbacks, we covered a lot of ground on today's show, with and without Jason.
Yeah, and we didn't even get into this is something, the elevator that broke, that had Justin Herbert and the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers in it, and Harbaugh all excited because I mentioned that I sweated through my Harvest shirt on Saturday. Herbert did not sweat through, even though it was a packed elevator, and that was a great sign for Jim Harbaugh that he's got his guy.
Well, I guess we did mention it now as we close up the show. Thanks to Jason for being part of the show, even though he wasn't able to be here for the final
our streak
stretch.
is at 0 of making it through.
We'll reset it tomorrow. Thanks, Tausch. Thanks for coming along for the ride. As Jason always says, have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free